And here we are. Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Look who's here. Wait, look who's here. There we go. It's Mandobug, aka Amanda from Mandobug Crafts. And she is here because we are going to play a very interesting game called Would You Rather, the Crochet Edition. Before we get started, Amanda, just go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell everybody what you're up to and
Yeah.
what you do.
If you guys don't know who I am, I'm Amanda, aka Mandobug, and I have a channel here on YouTube as well where I share I do a weekly live stream Saturdays at 9 on Pacific time, noon Eastern, where I just kind of share what I've been working on for the week. I crochet, knit, I do other crafts, but I don't do them all the time. It's mostly crocheting on my channel, with a sprinkle of other things. But yeah, I am a crocheter just like you.
Well, that's cool. While we're waiting for some people to stream in, I'm gonna ask you a question. Have you thought about adding more crafts to your channel?
So I like to kind of go off of what I'm feeling inspired by. So I wouldn't be against adding new crafts, but I wouldn't want to force it in to have all of that all at once, which is why it's open to all crafts, but I've really been focused on crochet lately. So a lot of my content coming out lately has been crochet and crochet design. And I'm just kind of sticking to what gets me the most excited. And it's been that. But years ago, when I first started the channel, I just learned to knit. So it was nothing but knitting content for a couple years because that's what I was into. So I really just kind of follow my own flow. So I wouldn't rule it out. I have a sprinkling of diamond painting videos when I was learning to do that too. So yeah, it's really
Have
just
you
kind of,
noticed that diamond painting has become a big thing with crocheters lately?
yes, I have seen that.
It's like, wow. Suddenly everybody's diamond painting when they're not crocheting.
There's a crossover somehow.
Huh?
There's
What'd
a
you say?
crossover. There's a crossover somehow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, we've got people have entered into the chat. Hi, Catherine.
Hi, Catherine.
And we have Marquita. And hey, VJ.
Hello, hello.
And M560. Mod, right?
That's Mod. Yeah. Hi,
Yes. Hi, Mod. Welcome to the chat. So you want to wait up another minute or so? You want to go ahead and get started?
It's up to you. I'm down for whatever.
Well, I don't want to ask you too many questions because I don't want to accidentally maybe cross into our questions for the game.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But do you have any news or anything you want to share? Anything you got going on?
I did just release a pattern yesterday. I don't have it with me, but a Goals and Slips cowl. It's free on my website. You can buy the ad-free PDF on my website or Ravelry, and there's a video tutorial on my YouTube channel, Mandobug Crafts. It's just a worsted weight cowl with an interesting technique. It's kind of an intermediate pattern, but that one was really fun. And then the sweater I'm wearing, I can't stop wearing this. This is actually the first time I crocheted a pullover, and it's 100% wool, and it is so warm. I'm like, I just need to make like 20 more wool pullovers because I
like
just it feels so good.
I really like the sweater. I mean,
Thank you.
Very
I
nice.
really enjoyed it. Oh, and it's called the Isabella striped pullover. It's in Crochet Magazine's Spring 2022 issue.
That shawl you did that you showed off on your last live was gorgeous too.
Oh, thank you. I'm not sure which one it was. Was it the 550 striped one? The Halloween colored one?
No, it was like that.
Oh, in the magazine?
Gray. Yeah, in the magazine.
Yeah,
with
it's like
burgundy.
Gray. Mm-hmm. It's got a little cable along the border.
Yes, that was pretty. I was like, ooh, I like that.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I don't have anything going on right now as far as like anything new that I've made. I have some stuff, but I can't show any of it because it's all attached to a video. So you just have to come back and watch my videos and see what it is I've been up to.
Well, I don't
have any housekeeping to talk about. I can fill you guys in on all that at the end. Let's see who else is saying stuff in here. Marquita, the pattern on your sweater is really pretty, Amanda. She likes your sweater.
Thank you. It's spike stitches.
I could never get the hang of spike stitches.
So this one's actually like a I don't remember what they ended up calling it in the magazine. They gave it a special name because I was calling it an anchored spike. So instead of going like it's a half double crochet. So instead of doing your yarn over going all the way down and coming up, you go into the stitch of your row to pull up your loop and then drop down, and it really anchors that spike in place so it doesn't move.
And it makes them much more uniform, I'm sure. Because that was always
Yes.
my big problem, was because they were always just kind of like wonky. I
Okay,
could never
so
get them all uniform.
I will admit, when I was working on the yoke for this sweater, my tension wasn't the greatest, and I was like, is this gonna like look okay? And blocking fixed it all. So it is when where tension's a little funky. So if you do make it and you see it and you're like, maybe just block it at that point before you go too far, because it is top down, and then see that it's gonna lay just fine. Blocking helps even out all that tension.
I will keep that in mind the next time I feel brave enough to try that stitch again. Maud says she wants to make the galls and slips cowl in a metallic yarn.
Ooh.
Metallico!
Yeah, I would. Do they have a? It is worsted, right? The thicker version of metallic is worsted.
Yeah, there's two versions. There's the worsted, and then there's the I want to say it's sock.
Yeah, the fine one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that's the one I saw on sale.
And Marquita is saying the pullover sweaters are addictive. They're my favorite thing to make for the same reasons. Yeah, she's been pumping out some sweaters.
Oh, yeah.
She wants to make it as well. You would love spike stitches, Marquita. That does not shock me at all. And Marquita saying, I did a baby blanket of spike stitches and really liked it with the variegated yarn. I bet that was pretty.
I could see that too. Really breaks up the colors that you would expect to see.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, you want to get started?
Yes.
You want to start first, or you want me to start first? You're the guest. You can start first.
Okay. All right. So I didn't put them in any particular order. They're literally, well, I guess there is an order. It's the order I thought of the questions in. So.
Same.
So my first question, and this one might be a little tricky. Would you rather have free yarn for life, but you're not allowed to get your favorite color ever? Or pay double price for all yarn and you can buy whatever color you want? So free yarn for life, but never your favorite color. Or yarn's twice as expensive, but you can buy whatever color you want. It's hard because I don't know if I could live in a world without orange, but also it free. So maybe I could.
Well, see, I don't have a solid favorite color anymore. I used to. It used to be red. But now I kind of like red. I like purple. I like blue. So
it might not be so hard for you because your favorite color isn't really all that special to you.
But I really like red.
So that would be the color you'd have to give up. All red and all shades of red. So never any more burgundy. Like you wouldn't even be able to buy it at all in my hypothetical situation.
Hey, look, I bought bougie yarn, so paying twice as much for any color I wanted. Yeah, I think that's twice as much for any color I wanted. Who am I kidding?
I think I'd be too depressed to never be able to work with my favorite color again.
Yeah, because as soon as I would make that agreement, suddenly I would be Jones and the one make everything red. Or whatever, yeah.
Oh, I see some of the chat.
Are they answering?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Marquita, no, pay double price. Oh, Maud said free yarn. So what color would you give up, Maud?
I mean, it'd be like being a yarn millionaire.
Yeah. Does the favorite color just not exist in that universe?
Yep. You can't have it, can't see it, can't touch it.
Although, I guess if it doesn't exist, how can you miss it?
That's true. But you know it exists.
True.
But if you don't see it around you.
I don't know. You still might still miss it, probably.
I can't live in a world without orange. I can't.
I can't imagine you in a world without orange. VJ saying free yarn. So what color would you give up? Marquita, I wouldn't like yarning if I couldn't use my favorite colors. We just have to give up one color, not all of them.
Yeah, just one.
Most of the joy is in the color fiber I'm working in. Okay, Marquita's taking this question way too seriously. She's like, breathe, Marquita, breathe.
She's like, don't take it away from me.
You can't take my colors. Look at my colors.
Ooh, gray
Why
would
would we
be a
give up
hard
red
one
and
to
gray?
give up.
Yeah, me too. I use a lot of gray. I didn't realize how much gray I use, so I was trying to organize my yarn, and I was like, why do I have 22 different shades of gray? And almost like every weight. It's funny. Let's see. The clicking isn't working. There we go. I know it exists. That's torture. Honestly, my favorite color is always changing.
That'd make it easier.
Yeah, I can't give up orange. Yet this question got me all messed up.
Sorry, Marquita.
Uh, I look great in orange, but it's not like it's not a color that I really go to. I look good in it though. Blue, so she would give up blue, but there are so many shades of blue I could work around it. Okay, look, that was Amanda's world. That's her rule.
Yeah.
Whether all shades of blue
All
exist or
shades. It
not,
would include all shades.
and she's agreeing with VJ. Okay, well, that got a reaction out of the crowd.
I told you I was trying to be as creative as possible, so some of them require a little bit of a venturing into my mind.
That was good. That was a good one. Okay, my first one. Would you rather crochet a full size blanket in single crochet with worsted weight yarn, or crochet a full size blanket in double crochet with fingering yarn?
Ooh. Okay. That's tough because I don't necessarily hate single crochet, and worsted weight would work up way faster, but I really like fingering weight crochet, and double crochet is my favorite stitch, but it would be slower. So if it was a blanket for me, I think I'd choose the fingering weight double crochet just because I like the project the most better. But I don't think I really dislike either of those.
They both give me heart palpitations, to be honest, as
I
I was
single
writing
crochet.
it.
I single crocheted an entire sweater.
Because nah, nah, nah,
No.
nah, nah. Yeah, like I said, as I wrote this question, I'm going, I don't know how I'd answer this because one is my least favorite stitch and the other one's my least favorite yarn. Um,
So which is it? What would you rather?
I would probably go to single crochet with the worsted because they're probably, I don't know, my I think my dislike of fingering weight is greater than my dislike of single crochet.
I see
So
that.
lesser of two evils. So what's everybody saying, man? Let's see. Oh, she's still talking about colors.
I think that's fair. I think teal. If she ruled out blue, working with teal, I think that's a good workaround.
Yeah, because it's in the greens.
Mm-hmm.
Mod saying if I could do Grafgan, I'd do the single crochet worsted, but if it's regular single crochet, I'd go for double crochet with the
With the
fingering.
fingering.
Okay. Marquita, blankets, mankets. Let's get them over with. Worsted weight. A sweater is a different. I can't even read this.
Blankets.
I will single crochet fingering weight even, and double crochet is even better. Okay, so she would do the single crochet worsted, I think she's saying. She doesn't want to do
Yes.
either. She doesn't want to do a blanket at all. So
Worsted weight for the blanket to get it over with, but if she was doing a sweater, she doesn't mind the fingering weight. I mean, I get it because blankets can be really boring depending on the pattern.
That's why I've got an Afghan for my daughter that I've been working on for 2 years. It's just not like it's the same thing over and over and over and over and over for like forever.
Forever.
So yeah.
Looks like spam.
Yep. I don't have any. Time out for now. Come on, you can do it. Sorry, I'm trying to put some money in timeout and it's moving slowly. There we go. Yes. Single crochet worsted for the blanket. Alrighty.
All right, next question.
Yep.
Okay, here's another adventure into Magic Land.
Here we go.
Would you rather have all your current whips magically finished
Yes.
right now? All whatever you've
Yes.
got started, just magic. So you don't even need the other half. You're like, yes.
Go ahead and finish it, but I don't
Hold
think you're
out.
going to change my
Oh,
mind.
hold out for the other half is good too, I promise. Or would you rather have all the yarn you need for your next 10 projects for free? And you could dream big on that. So everything that's started, finish now, or next 10 projects free.
That's a
Right?
lot.
Because like I would dream up some more bougie sweaters. Like I'm on a bougie sweater kick. I would definitely take the next 10 projects free. Forget
That's
about
a
those
lot of
whips.
Malabriga.
Forget about those whips. I don't care. They're already languishing for a reason.
Did I mention that's a lot of Malabriga?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The next 10. Yeah. The next 10 projects.
See, I told you you'd want to hang out for that other half.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Because, yeah, that would. Yeah, I could bust out some really nice stuff. Yeah.
Right? Like the size, the colors, the yarn. You could go, oh.
Yeah. Hmm. I could actually get that. Like, which yarn is it from the cousin of the llama that lives on the mountain in Peru? It's like
Oh,
$300 a ounce.
vicuña?
Yeah.
Or vicuña? Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
how you say
Vicuna.
it. Vicuña.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could. Yeah, that could be. Yeah. Mod saying it's a tough one.
Yeah.
VJ saying next 10 projects for free. Makita saying all the yarn I need for free. Can we make this dream possible? And
Tell
she'd be
Santa.
bougie all the way. Yeah, you know you would be in our club. You'd be in our bougie yarn club, definitely. And Maud says whips finished because of the Christmas time crunch.
Mm-hmm.
So practical.
It's very practical.
But if that was not an issue, I'd go with the free yarn. And Marquita saying I'd get so much cashmere.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me itch.
Does it really?
Yes.
Even the blends?
I don't think I've tried a blend yet.
You should give Superwash Merino Cashmere Nylon blend a try. That one might be a little better for you.
That's why I'm so sad that I have like no local yarn stores, because I'm literally just grasping at, will this make me itch? Will this not make me itch? Can I use this? Will I not be able to use this? My local yarn store is like an hour away. I'm really gonna have to make a trip up there, but it's just frustrating.
Just write it down so whenever you do go up, you're like, oh yeah, I gotta find a cashmere blend and touch it.
It's cashmere
blend.
merino nylon blend.
Mm-hmm. Those ones are really nice.
Cool. VJ, I could get darn good yarn, silk yarn. Your silk yarn's lovely. That sounds pretty. Sorry, making an ornament for the tree and had to finally learn the magic loop. Oh, have you need to go and watch Amanda's video where you're doing the Sweet Presley hat and your magic ring.
Oh, my weird magic ring.
Yeah. It's like so simple. It's like, wow. I've been doing it ever since I saw that. I was like, good grief.
So
why have I been fighting with myself?
That came about because I learned to crochet when I was really young and I forgot how to make a magic ring. So I was like, can you just start chaining out of thin air? And you can if you pinch that loop. That's basically what it is just start chaining out of thin air. So I started doing it as a kid and I'm like, well, this works just like a magic loop. And I've done it ever since. It's a habit now.
And it does. It works just like one. My frustration was because I could never really figure it out. So I would do like chain 2 and just crochet into the first chain and make that the loop. But yeah, your method works really well. Let's see. VJ saying, Marquita, that it looks so pretty on the website. And can't give up blue, so pay double, single crochet with worsted. Alrighty. Okay, next question. My turn, right?
Mhm.
Would you rather crochet with a hook that snags or a hook that squeaks and nothing has ever removed the squeak?
Oh, Mocha.
The only two hooks you have. Those are the only two hooks that you have in your life, in your possession. One that snags, one that squeaks. Which
What?
do you choose?
What did I do to deserve this? Oh, I feel like this is a punishment.
I know, right?
Oh, I think I'd have to take the snagging. I don't think I could stand the squeak. I no. Like it the no. I'd rather just be frustrated and have to keep read like it does it snag every stitch all the time or just occasionally?
Enough to annoy you.
Y- I think I could handle enough to annoy me. I mean, like it would not be fun and it would not make the best looking piece, but I'd have to take that over the squeaking. Oh.
I'm with you. I'd have to do the snagging. It was the squeaking would make me want to like just probably snap the hook in half. Then I'd be stuck with the snag one anyway. So might as well just start out with the one that snags. Why torture myself in the process?
Yeah.
Let's see. Marquita saying snags. Catherine says squeak. VJ snag. Marquita, I just worked a split yarn with my new froze peppermint, and I didn't mind at all. But the squeak makes my teeth hurt. Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, it like gives me like the shivers.
Yeah, so yeah, like nails on the chalkboard. It's like,
Oh yeah.
stop, Mod. I'd give up crochet and just knit everything.
That's reasonable.
All right, first she gets all practical on us. Now she's just changing the rules completely.
I would just never crochet
Yep,
again.
I have heard macrame's fun. It's not with yarn. Hey, but yeah, the squeak would kill me. So no,
No, I can't.
no. Alrighty.
Oh, that would be
Oh,
me.
VJ said snag. She knows how to use sandpaper.
But would the sandpaper remove the squeak?
Well, sandpaper would probably remove the snag.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
But that's a good question. If it would remove the squeak, I probably if you did rough it up a little bit, it probably wouldn't squeak. But then would it start to snag? But it's a metal hook. I've never really had a wood or a plastic hook squeak. So I assume we're metal hook. All right. Anyway, getting way too technical with that question.
That's part of the fun.
This is true.
Okay, so this one's a combo. Would you rather make and I have it as like a slash because some people don't like to make blankets, and what I really mean is a large project. So, would you rather make a blanket / cardigan in your favorite stitch with lace weight, or in your favorite yarn but your least favorite stitch? And so for me, that would be the bullion stitch. It would be a bullion stitch blanket or cardigan. I cannot stand the bullion stitch. Have you ever done that? The one where you wrap the yarn around your hook like 12 times and then pull through? It's a pain. It's a pain.
One more time.
But it would be your least favorite stitch. So let's just go ahead and say blanket, but you can substitute cardigan if the project's an issue. It's about the size. So would you rather make a blanket in your favorite stitch, but with lace weight yarn? Or make the blanket in your favorite yarn, but your least favorite stitch? So it's very similar to your first question, just more open-ended for you to personalize to yourself. What is your least favorite stitch, Mocha? Is it single crochet?
It's that single crochet is up there. What is my least favorite stitch? I can't think of what my list is. We'll go single crochet for the time being because I really don't can't think of. Well, I don't like spike stitch because it always looks wonky.
So would doing
Um,
the spike stitch be more upsetting for you than having to do the single crochet?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So a spike stitch blanket versus lace weight.
So I don't know what I'm thinking about this. I'm not doing anything with lace weight. So I'm going to suffer through spike stitch, single crochet, and the crab stitch. I hate that stitch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
You would do it.
yeah.
Oh, see, I can't. I for that bullion stitch, I could not make an entire project out of it. Definitely not one as big as a blanket or a cardigan. I don't have it in me. I would lace weight blanket or cardigan. Hands down.
But you don't have a problem with lace weight.
I mean, I don't typically work with lace weight a lot because it is so much slower. But yeah, I don't have a strong distaste for finer yarns, finer weight yarns.
I admit that freely. It's like, oh no, no. If it's under a DK, I'm not interested. You're killing me. So what did the chat have to say? Mod's still talking about we could crochet with headphones
Headphones
on, get
on.
not hear the squeak.
But sometimes you can feel the squeak too, though.
Yeah, it's like it's a vibration. It's like, eh. So Calvin said I had a plastic hook that squeak, but settled down after a while. Marquita's like, I don't know. I'm making placemats with the bullion stitch. It's frustrating at first, but the results are amazing. That's how I feel about Star Stitch. I love the texture of the fabric Star Stitch makes, although it's kind of like tedious doing all those. You're on everything, pull through. Maybe favorite yarn. That's a tough one. There isn't a stitch I don't like. Figures.
Well, then she's lucky.
I know, right? Let's see, Mom. One of my faves is the Star Stitch. Least fave treble crochet at the moment, but I might need the practice to be honest. Maybe it'll become my favorite after a while. No, it won't.
My grandma used to make everything in treble. Like she'd always gift us treble crochet blankets and treble crochet hats, and she just like trebled everything.
Well, the part to treble is that you can definitely finish a project faster, but my treble crochets always just look like they're just one stitch away from falling apart. Like, I'm literally holding on by a thread, literally. So I don't know. I'm a half double crochet girl, so I haven't tried the bullion though. Okay.
Give it a shot, Marquita.
Yeah, but I love wrapping yarns. Just the bullion like a bauble puff.
No, you're because like with a bobble puff, you're like yarning over and pulling up a loop, yarning over and pulling up a loop. With the bullion, you're literally just wrapping it around the hook only. And then you insert, pull up, and then pull through all of them. So you have to make sure you wrap them with a decent tension that's not so tight, and you have to use an inline hook. And I like tapered hooks because the inlines have that deep throat that can snag it and really pull through. So if you're going to do it with an inline, but it definitely takes getting used to. I did a pillow that had a ton of them in there. It's beautiful, but like I was cursing so much.
It kind of sounds like it's like a yarn eater too, though.
I didn't really notice it so much. It just has a really cool texture because it's like a long stitch with a bunch of it looks like a spring kind of.
Yeah, I'll have to try that one. I haven't tried that one. Cool. Mod saying my treble crochets look too inconsistent for my liking. That's my problem with them. They just never really look right to me. Marquita likes I like treble too. I'm learning crochet cables now and really like using the treble to make them. That makes sense.
I can see.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Treble is not my fave, but the bullion requires them. Let's see, Marquita again. So I have been bullioning when I thought I was bobbling.
Oh, really? You were just wrapping it around your hook a ton of times? Whoops.
Whoa, okay. Apparently she likes that stitch after all. I didn't even know it. The one I'm doing is where you wrap around 3 treble crochets.
Oh, I've never done that. So the one I've only ever done is it's standalone by itself. It's on the
Hmm.
hook. So you've got your live loop on your hook. You wrap like 10 or 12 times around the hook. Then you go into your next stitch, pull up loop, and pull through everything. So they're loose just on themselves. But doing it around a treble, now that wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah, because you'd have something to anchor it to.
Yeah.
It's not just hanging there like, hi.
Yeah, yeah.
How you doing? Makita said, I am making a hat now with what you just described. I didn't know the name of it. I assumed it was a bauble. Well, now you know. It's a bullion. It's not a bullion, it's a bauble. Or it's not a bauble, it's a bullion.
I always get the bullions and puffs, or the baubles and puffs backwards.
Yeah, I'm like, what's?
Well, are they the same? I don't even know if it's a synonym.
I know one's bigger than the other. I want to say that the bauble's bigger than the puff, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I try to avoid all of them because it just feels like they're like yarn eaters. Although, like I said, I do like Star Stitch. I will do that. I've made a lot of placemats with it. And let's see. Wait, the bullion are you yarning over when you're wrapping it around the yarn? What?
I don't understand. Sorry.
Makita, you want to
You're
clarify?
not going into your stitch at all when you wrap. You're just wrapping it around your hook like 12 times.
And then pulling it all through.
Yep. Well, you see, you wrap it. So, like, instead of yarn over and
Uh-huh.
insert your hook, you yarn over 12 times and then insert your hook,
Your
pull
hook and
up,
then.
and pull through. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. See, see that would be the kind of stitch that I would get to like the 10th one and lose it, and it'd be like
Mm-hmm.
and have to start all over again. I would be cranky. See, baubles are bulkier.
So there's more to them.
The tutorial I watched, she didn't know what it was called. Bullion bead stitch.
I'll have to check it out. I think she's talking about the one that goes around the treble. Yeah.
Yeah, that's bead. That sounds like a bead stitch because I've done bead stitch before.
I've
And
never done it.
you go around it, and then you go around it, yarn over, pull up another stitch, go around it, yarn over, pull up, and then I think you like 5 or 6 on the hook, and then you pull it through.
But at
And
least that way you're anchoring it to something.
yeah. Oh no, I haven't bullioned. I think that would murder my love of yarning.
Yeah.
She was bobbling.
Yeah. I could see that.
Well, let's not get our baubles and our bullions and our
Puffs
puffs all confused.
in a bunch.
Yeah.
We got our
Very good.
baubles, bullions, puffs in a bunch.
Although they all require something that I'll get halfway through and lose and get mad. That's all I know. Okay, let's see.
Excuse me.
All right. Would you rather? It is my turn, right?
I think so.
Yes. Okay. Would you rather crochet with a yarn that's a color you love, but a texture you don't like, or a texture you love, but a color you really don't like?
Ooh. So I don't really have any textures that I hate. And I do have colors I don't like, but I will work with them for people I love. Like pink is my least favorite color, and I just designed a pink cardigan for my daughter. So I think I would have to pick texture I love, color I don't like, because I'm willing to do that for the right person.
Well, I definitely have some texture I don't like. Red heart.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I can't. I can't with it anymore. I mean, so I think I'd have to go with the texture I like and color I don't like. Like, well, I'm not a big fan of pink either, and I made my granddaughter a pink sweater, and she also likes green, and I'm not a green fan, so. But I'm gonna make something for her out of green. So yeah, I'd go with the texture I like and the color I don't like. Because
I mean,
yeah,
it's not like we're being forced to wear it. So
Exactly.
that would be a whole problem.
Yeah, yeah, then yeah. I'm not trying to torture us, like, but you have to wear it for a year.
Oh.
No,
No.
no,
I'll
no.
take
I
the red
definitely
heart.
it's a texture thing for me. That yeah, no. There's certain yarns I just can't stand it. I'm like, no. Like I have a video coming up with a yarn that was my biggest beef with it was its texture. That's coming up later.
Oh, I'm
Let's
excited.
see. So that's a no on the bullion for me. Sounds too frustrating. I got my baubles, bullions, and oofs in a bunch. I need
Puffs.
that T-shirt. That would be a good T-shirt.
That would be cute.
Say what again? The question?
Probably.
Would you rather? Let me just read it. Uh, crochet with a color you love but a texture you don't like, or a texture you love but a color you don't like? And Maud saying color I don't like. I'll just give it away to someone.
That's like us.
Red heart with a squeaky hook. Oh, Catherine. I thought we were friends. Hi, Monette.
Hello.
Welcome. We're just having a fun little lively game of Would You Rather crochet edition, so feel free to like chime in with your responses. Yeah, no, Catherine, please no. I'm
Please.
with her. Uh, Hi, Isabella.
Hi.
Isabella? Remind me how to say your name. I'm so sorry.
I
Hi,
think it's Isabella. That's what I've been saying.
Isabella.
Hopefully I've been saying it correctly, but please do correct us.
See, I'm trying to find something that explains how to do a knuckle crochet stitch. I have never heard of it.
Neither have I.
Me either. That's a
Are your
new one.
knuckles involved?
Yeah, good question. Marquita saying color I like and make a blanket with it. So you'd make a blanket
With the
with
color
a
you like, but the texture you
texture
don't
you don't
like.
like? You do you, boo. Okay. I will use anything to crochet anything. Hey,
So
that
that's not a
works.
hard choice.
Frog it and use it again. Yep. Everybody saying hello to everybody. Okay.
All right. Oh, this is a good one. This is Magical Land again. I like to go off into Magical Land.
Apparently.
Would you rather have magic tangle-free yarn for life or yarn that magically weaves in its ends?
Definitely magically untangled.
Magically
Definitely.
untangled?
Yeah. Because I can put on a TV show and weave in ends.
See,
But
I'm the opposite because I hate weaving in ends, but I don't mind detangling yarn. And it's not like it would be like more tangles than usual that need to be detangled. Like I don't usually have tangle issues. So for me, it would definitely be the weaving in ends.
I have some. Hi, kiddo. My granddaughter just popped in here. Say hi.
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 Okay.
I was just here because to see put dinner crate with the blankets.
Okay, great. Go get your dad to clean it up. The thing she feels the need to tell me while I'm live. Uh,
So tangle
yeah,
free.
no, I would still rather. Yeah, weave in ends because I've had some epic tangles um with some of this yarn where I'm like, and I mean normally I like a challenge, so I will undo a tangle. But some of them have been just like I've had to like end up cutting it like 16 times, and I have like this whole swatch of yarn that I can't use. So yeah, I'd rather just have it magically untangled. That way, I could just crochet and crochet and crochet and crochet and not have to worry about stopping and untangling.
That sounds like a horrible experience. I have never had that happen. Well, there's one time I tangled a skein so bad because I was new to winding hanks of
Thanks.
fine yarn and I didn't check the ties and I cut them when it was on the Swift incorrectly. and I lost the whole hank, and it was very expensive, hand dyed of course, self striping, which is even more expensive, and it was my first time buying self striping yarn, and I was like, oh, and I lost it all. But that's only happened one time. I learned my lesson.
Yeah, I think everybody's had that first time putting a hank on a Swift experience. Because my very first time I lost the hank, it wasn't a really expensive hank of yarn, but it was still like, frustrating because you just completely ruined the whole hank of yarn.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely a skill to putting that thing on that Swift. Excuse me, I had the hiccups. People don't want to tell you about. So let's see, what's everybody saying? Wow. Okay, hang on. I have to scroll back quite a bit there. No, but don't like the texture of yarn. It goes in the donate bag. Okay.
Smart.
Weave in ends, says Mod.
No.
Catherine, ends.
I love stripes, so I have tons of ends all the time.
Magically weaves in its ends. Okay, so apparently I am in the minority on this one. Marquita's also weave in ends. Magical yarn ends. Scissors were meant for tangles. Yeah, but then you gotta deal with all the knots. That's what drives me crazy. Tangle free.
Oh, there you go. You got
Woo!
one.
Someone on my team. Team Tangle free. Vijay's saying hello. Hi, little one. Yeah, that was the piano player from yesterday. Saying hi to VJ. Amanda,
I haven't.
Hmm.
No, I haven't. So when I used to work at a different local yarn shop, we would keep all our, from winding the yarn for customers, the tie ends, we'd keep it in a basket. And I've collected that basket full over time. So I have bags full of yarn ends that I meant to eventually cut up and add to bats and make art yarn. But my drum carder is fine. It's got fine teeth per inch. So it's more for blending like merinos and alpacas. So that kind of stuff doesn't stick very well to it, except for the outside, which makes it difficult for actually spinning into your singles. So it's something I would try if I had like a art bat drum carder, but I don't.
Okay. Spinner talk.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're fine. It's something I've always wanted to try. I just haven't had a chance to try it, nor do I have the room to try it right now. If I ever got my dream craft room, I'd have a wheel, and I would definitely learn how to spin. So I think it's awesome. Marquis saying I would like the magic weaving in ends option. Yeah, we figured that's what you meant. I haven't experienced too terrible of tangles in years. Well, yay. Some of us haven't been that fortunate. I just dealt with a stupid tangle a couple of days ago that made me want to just chuck the whole ball of yarn. This game is inspiring. I've been coming up with my own hypotheticals.
Share them. Throw them out there. We can answer them.
Yeah, throw them out there. Same here, Amanda. I love color controlling and stripes.
It's like infinite possibilities because you could just cut your yarn, whatever, and it's just like, fastened. But also, Mocha, you crochet over your ends, so you don't even have to weave in ends a lot of the time either, and I don't.
Yes. Even though I do get lazy at times, and I'm like, I'll just weave them in later. But no, for the most part, I try to make a concerted effort to crochet over my ends. But like I said though, I crochet tight, so it works better than maybe somebody that doesn't crochet as loosely. That crochets looser than I do.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's your turn now.
Is my
Unless
turn?
we get Mod's questions popping in.
Okay, my question is: would you rather? And I think you'll appreciate this. Follow a badly written pattern or a video with a person with an annoying voice.
Oh. Can I cheat? Can I mute them? Can I just watch the video with no voice instructions? Because I think that's what I do. No, I have to listen to the voice.
You have to listen to them.
Ooh. So with the poorly written pattern, do I understand it? It just takes me a while of reading it to understand it, and I'm frustrated in how I understand it, because if it's written so poorly, am I making it wrong because of, am I able to make it from that?
Like, say it's a pattern, you're reading it and you're going, what are you trying to tell me?
But can I eventually figure it out? Like, can I even follow this pattern?
Yeah, if you read like if you go back to the instructions you just followed and then read the instruction after it, it kind of clears it up.
But it's like that every row.
Yes,
and it
every
changes.
other row you're going, what? And we've all had patterns like that. We've all read like.
And this horrible voiced video tutorial is pristine though.
Yes.
Like, crisp, clear,
yeah,
easy breezy.
It's
just
a perfect
annoying
video tutorial, but the person has a very annoying voice.
I'm gonna take the annoying voice. I have to have the clarity and instructions. I have to.
Yeah, I get.
Even if I'm like cringing.
Yeah, it's like your voice, but okay. So maybe if I speed you up.
No, that'll probably make it worse.
I don't know.
Annoying
voice
voice
squeaky
is
when you speed it up, though. No, everybody sounds squeaky then.
It's true.
I can deal with deliberate squeaky voice. I guess yeah. There are certain voices because there are certain. I won't name any names, but yeah, there are certain people who do video tutorials. The tutorials are awesome, but their voice just drives me nuts.
It's a personal preference thing, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So what's everybody saying? Okay, Maud did put a hypothetical in there. We'll come back to that
save it
in a second. Marquita saying she'd prefer a bad pattern. Badly written. I have a thing with voices. Yeah, Maud, me too.
What was that? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, sorry.
Catherine saying annoying voice. Isabella is saying, oh my gosh, bad pattern writing. VJ agrees, bad pattern. Isabella, I was a telephone operator. I am over annoying voices. Yeah, I worked phone customer service too. I know what you're saying. Poorly written pattern, I will just say forget it. I can always turn the volume down. That's true. You can still hear him though.
You can still hear it.
Okay, so let's jump up here to see what Maud's hypothetical was. You can never make a project for yourself ever again, or you can never make a project for others ever again. Oh, I never make anything for myself as it is. I rarely.
I can't not make for myself. I can't. Most of my projects are for myself. I could not make for me.
See, most of the last couple of months have been the most stuff I've made for myself, and those the hats. Mostly everything else I make is for other people. You know, my granddaughter's forever in here going, hey, can you make this? Can you make that? Can you make one of these? Can you make one of that? So, you know, or I'm working on a pattern that isn't necessarily for me. It's just a pattern I'm working on. I end up keeping most of those, but it's not like I set up and go, I'm going to make myself a shawl today. And just for me, it's just a matter of I have an idea for a pattern and I make it. So
see, I design almost everything I design is for a specific person. So if it's not for me, it's for my daughter or my son or my boyfriend. And most of the time my designs are for me, what I want for me. I could not make for myself. I know it's super selfish, but
no, it's not selfish. It makes sense. I mean, you know, why wouldn't you make stuff for yourself?
I feel like nobody else loves it as much as I do.
There are certain things that I've started making that now my daughter sees me making it. I can see her like poking her head over, going, "Who's that for?" I like those colors. You making it for somebody in particular? So she ends up getting it, just like the ghost shawl. She knew that was for her from the jump. She just knew that I was making that for her. I'm like, how do you know I'm making it for you? I could be making it for me. And she's like, Mom, really? And I'm like, okay, fine, I'm making it for you. But, so yeah, I don't make a whole lot of stuff for me. So
could you do that forever?
Well, I mean, it's just I'd be more apt to not make myself something than I am to not make something for somebody else, though. You know what I mean? Yeah. Most of the stuff I make is for other people, so.
That makes sense.
That was a good one, Mon.
Yeah, that was hard.
Let's see. Oh, let's see who's answer to this. Mod saying, I mostly make stuff for other people. I would be sad not being able to make anything for myself, but I'd be able to deal with it. Yeah, that's how I am.
I can't.
Not selfish, just honest. I agree. Nothing wrong making stuff for yourself. Now, if this had been a jewelry question, it would have been me. It's like, I'm not making anything for anybody else. I'll make it for me in the end. But crochet, hi, PJ.
Hi, PJ.
Welcome, welcome. Never make anyone anything stress. You don't make things for other people?
At least I got another one on my team.
Yeah. And Marquita's agreeing with you. I delivered an order locally and even gift wrapped it, and the person hit her dogs repeatedly with it. What? I prefer to make for myself. What?
Hit her dogs with it?
I mean, I crochet Afghans for my dogs all the time.
Yeah.
They've got several that I've crocheted because, like if I'm like trying a new stitch or something, and like so I'll just like, I'll make this for the dog. If it turns out great, I'll keep it. If not, then the dog has another blanket. But that's horrible.
Yeah. Especially if that isn't a typo and they were hitting their dogs with it. Jeez.
Yeah. That's crazy. I don't even know how to... Yes, her dog became unruly and she popped the dog over and over with the gift wrapped item.
It wasn't even opened yet?
I don't understand people. I don't understand people. Bye, Juanette. Thanks for being here. Enjoy the rest of your day. I would have been upset too.
Yeah.
Upset that that's how they treated my gift. Upset that that's how they treated their dog.
Mm-hmm.
Just, wow. Some people, I'm telling you. But you know what though? That kind of, I don't know if it was like a gift that they knew they were getting or not. But that's why I have a hard time making things for people as gifts if I don't know that they're not going to 100% appreciate what I'm making.
Yeah,
I don't see the point.
The difference between gifting a handmade versus commissions to people you don't necessarily know.
Yeah. I don't do it unless I know that for sure they're going to appreciate it. If not, then I'm not doing it. I'm not going through the time and the expense of making something they're not going to appreciate. What's the point?
Yeah.
I'm not saying I hate when people treat animals badly. Yeah, me too.
I'm right there with you.
So I made these awesome blankets for us in the house. I was working on one at sister-in-law's house. Next thing we knew, we had no blankets. What happened to them?
Yeah.
What's wrong with people? I just can't anymore. I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean to make anyone anything. It just happened.
I kind of feel that way sometimes too.
Like I said, I'll be in the middle of making something and my daughter will appear around the corner going, I like that color. You make it up for somebody? I'm like, okay, fine. So she has gotten more scarves, more fingerless gloves, and more hats that way than I can't even count. I told her, I'm like, if you really wanted that blanket, and then you let me work on something else, and then come in and go, I kind of like that. You might get your blanket then. Let's see. She wrapped it for her convenience because it was a present for her daughter. Oh my goodness! And she was short on time. The gift wrapping was a surprise. So let me get this straight. She commissioned a piece from you. You made it. You gift wrapped it. You gave it to her because it's supposed to be a gift for her daughter. And in turn, she beats the dog with it? I can't. I don't know what to say to that. If I had known she'd do that, I wouldn't have wrapped it at all.
There's still a question that she wouldn't have stopped her whether it was wrapped, right?
Exactly. She probably just beat her with the, yeah. I mean, at least, I hate saying that, but at least if it's wrapped, the item was protected. Poor dog. Because, there's just so much wrong with that. I don't know where to start. All 5 sister-in-laws came for a blanket. I
They
don't
got
say
adopted.
gotcha. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, they appreciate your work. I mean, that's cool when that happens. I love when that happens.
I do
You
too.
might see something I like and like something I made and you're like, oh my god, I love that. I'm like, oh, here you go. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah. Oh well, thank you. I'm like, you're welcome. I live for stuff like that. That's cool. I know PJ. They were Great Danes and they wouldn't
No.
move out of the way, so the pop was a nudge.
I used to have a Great
Honestly, you
Dane.
want to get on the bad side of a Great Dane. Just saying.
I had a Great Dane who was attached to me. He was so sweet. If you
Mm-hmm.
train dogs properly, that's not a problem.
No, we've got another one not quite as big as a Great Dane, but our Champagne Pit is a decent size. Now, basically, if he gets him on his hind legs, his paws sit easily on my shoulders. But yeah, he's forever underneath one of us.
My
But
Great Dane was like a backup at the door. He'd be back there like, woof.
I bet.
Like, is this a safe person?
Woof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did. He was just like one woof.
Well, when you're that big, that's all you need.
Well, and I think because they're like, I don't know if they're called jowls, are so long that they have to be careful when they open their mouth anyways. So he's just like one concerned woof.
I love Great Dane.
Oh.
Never had one, but I had a friend that had one, and he was cool. Let's see, as I went through all that just to see how unappreciated the gift wrapping would be. Ugh. Did she at least appreciate the gift or the item that you made for her? Okay, Catherine's saying that's sad. And okay, so she didn't hit the dog hard. Now, y'all, it was just a nudge, but still, no, still went okay. Don't hit a dog at all. Thanks, Catherine. That was not a good thing to go through. Marquita hugs. I agree. That's horrible. And they're really sweet but super nosy. Well, that's a dog. You know, I'm surprised my dog has one there. He's in his crate. Otherwise, he'd be in here going, "What are you doing? What's going on? You're making noise. Got snacks?" Okay, she said thank you, so I know she appreciated it. Well, at least there's that, but don't hit the dog. Come on. Okay. It's your turn.
Is it my turn?
I think so.
All right. Okay, so this one is a hypothetical situation, and it's like a vice versa. So would you rather have your LYS 10 minutes away, but have to drive an hour to a big box store yarn like Michael's or Joann's, or the other way around? Michael's Joann's is 10 minutes down the street, and you have to drive an hour to an LYS.
That's my life.
Well, would you rather switch it? Which would
Yes.
you rather? Yes.
Yes, I'd rather switch it because, I mean, I don't buy a whole lot of big box yarns anymore. Lion Brand Basic Stitch is like probably the only big box brand I'm going to buy at this point. I buy all mine online, and most of them that I would buy online would probably be in a local yarn shop.
Maybe, depending on the shop and its size.
Yeah. I would just like to live someplace with a local yarn shop. I'm just saying.
Well, in this hypothetical situation, at least you have one an hour away at a maximum.
Yeah, but no, Joann's and Michael's are like, well, one's like 10 minutes to my west and the other one's 10 minutes to my east. So
that's pretty fortunate. I think my closest is, well, I've been Franklin, that's down the street. That's like 10 minutes away, but they don't have
Franklin.
I do like Ben Franklin. But for like a Joann's or Michael's, I got to drive 30 minutes. My LYS, the closest one is about 45 minutes. So mine would be 10-minute LYS. Like, that is my favorite place to shop. My favorite.
Is that the same place you used to work?
Well, there's 2 of them there, so I'd hit them up both.
Yeah, I would spend a whole lot of money.
I did, and I have. And I do.
I know I would. I just know I would. Because every time you post or Marquita post or somebody posts, I went to my local yarn shop. I'm like, I want to do that. Not fair. So let's see. What's everybody saying? I buy everything online, but I prefer a local yarn shop close. This is a hard one.
Yeah, especially if you work with both.
Yeah. Yeah, if you've got both nearby, like Marquita does, as I'm gathering, she doesn't want to choose. Well, you don't have to choose, but just so you know, there's a bunch of us that are very jealous of you right now. Just so you know, I'm first in line. I'm front and center. Jealous. That's even an option that you have to choose. Ugh, I don't think she's going to choose. I think we're giving poor Marquita heart palpitations. First, we told her she had to give up her favorite color.
Yeah.
Now she has to give up either her big box or her local yarn store. I don't think she can handle this. It'll be okay, Marquita. We promise.
Right.
I have to leave you. Okay. Thanks for being here.
Bye.
See you soon. See, we don't really have big box yarn stores in my country. Just one I can think of. Are you in
I feel like that's like a luxury.
Maud, where are you? Australia? Where are you? Where's Maud located?
I want to guess UK.
UK?
Yeah, but I might be wrong.
I don't know. Most people that tell me that, they're from either Australia or New Zealand. So we don't have big boxes here. We just kind of have to order stuff or nothing local.
That would be extremely frustrating. Oh,
Netherlands.
Netherlands.
Oh. I'm kind of shocked by that. I wonder if you'll get a Hobie when they finish their expansion. I know they're expanding into stores now. They're
That'd be
building
cool.
stores.
That's awesome.
Oh, I'm getting a Hobie store. Oh my goodness, that'd be crazy. Oh,
I have a Hobie question later.
of course you do. Yes, I've been spoiled. Yeah, we know. We see your videos. Oh, this pretty yarn you get at your local yarn store. And the rest of us are going, I want to do that.
Right.
All right. My turn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Simple. Fix her frog. Let me set this up a little bit.
Yes.
Okay. So you're making a project and you're like 2/3 of the way done, and you notice 15 rows up, you made a mistake. It's not a mistake that is ruining the pattern. It's not going to ruin the integrity of the piece, but you know it's there.
Okay.
Do you frog back up to fix it? Or do you look at it and try to figure out a way to fix it? Or just leave it alone and keep it going? So it's really, if there's three options
There's
there.
3 points. Yeah, no, I got you. And I have done this before. If it's a mistake that a non-crocheter won't identify, I let it go. I just let it go. I just pretend that it's not even there anymore. And I have been one to fudge patterns when my stitch counts are off. Oh, I'm missing a stitch. Just back on track. Sometimes I can't even see that. So yeah, I would, if it's something a non-crocheter would not notice, I will let it go. But if it's distracting enough and non-crocheter would notice it, I still might let it go. I still might just finish it, and it is what it is.
Well, yeah, because 9 out of 10, another person, unless they're specifically looking for it, or it's glaringly obvious, they're not going to notice it. You notice it because you know it's wrong.
With my sweater, if one of my spike stitches was across, just a random, I couldn't.
Most of mine look like.
I couldn't do that. But if it was slightly over 1 or 2 stitches and there's a random gap, I might leave that.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll stretch. It'll be fine. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No. Unless it's glaringly obvious that there's a mistake there, or it completely messes up the pattern, I'm not frogging it. I'm not going back that far, because in my head, Okay, so fine. I have a mistake 20 rows up. I rip out those 20 rows, fix that. How many more mistakes I'm going to make in repeating that section that I just ripped out? I just ripped out 20 rows of perfectly fine crochet to get to that one error. How many more errors am I going to introduce into it now?
Yeah. No, I feel that.
So, yeah, no. Unless it's glaring, I'm not frogging it. And if I can figure out a way to fix it without frogging it, that's all I'm going to do. And I'm the queen of taking a needle and the same color yarn and going, V stitch is missing a loop. Okay, here we go. Snip, done, fixed.
So look at that, just made me think of another shirt. Death by frogging.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Death by frogging.
That needs to be a t-shirt too. Definitely. Let's see. What's everybody saying? Mods like a Hobie store would be really cool.
Right.
Hobie.
I say Hobie. I assume that's what it is.
Well, when I've been in their live chats, that's how they said it.
They say Hobie.
Hobie. Yeah. Hobie. Hobbii, Hobie. But a lot of people say hobby, and I'm like, if they don't add lobby to the end, I know that's what they're talking about. Marquita's a frogger. You would. Marquita.
Don't get me wrong, I have frogged before to fix things, especially when it comes to designing, but it's not my preferred choice.
No, I mean, if I will, if I absolutely have to, or like if like a design, I'm not going to keep a flaw in the design because otherwise it's going to get incorporated in it, and I don't want that to happen.
Yeah,
but otherwise, no. I'll either fix it or pretend I didn't see it. Hiccups again. She agrees with you. Fix or ignore. Well, I'll say this. I can't leave gaps, but maybe a miscount, I will fix it.
I can see that.
Yeah. That falls under a glaring mistake to me.
Yeah.
It's like, if it's supposed to be like a chain 1 and you chain 2, obviously it's like bing, it's like, oh.
But I know people that would bother them, even it being that small of a mistake that you don't even see, knowing that it's there. People who are like super perfectionist could not even handle knowing that happened.
Yeah, I know people like that too, and I'm like, how do you finish anything? If I went back and I fixed every little teeny tiny mistake I ever made, I would never finish anything ever.
I think, it would definitely slow me down.
And there are a lot of cultures where they're like, you're supposed to leave a mistake in there,
Mm-hmm.
I know Irish crocheters used to do it, Amish, Native American. So, they don't believe that anybody is perfect other than their higher power. So, okay. I let it go, but remember, I frogged 3 carrot cakes from my grandson's corner to corner blanket because that's that's unfixable.
It's
you mess
unfixable
up on corner to corner, it's you're frogging. There's really no going back. There's no fixing that.
Unless you want an awkward shaped, not rectangle blanket.
Exactly. Yeah, you. This is modern art. Okay, it's not supposed to be a square.
It's an amoeba.
Yes.
An amoeba's blanket.
Yes. We are not square people. Why should we have square blankets? Yeah. So it's contoured. There you go. Yeah. Contoured. Yeah. Let's see. What's it say? Death by frogging. Love it. It could even be a band name. Yeah, it could be. I got another hypothetical if you want. Oh, good grief. She's on a roll.
I'm down.
I got another is it already? Oh, she did it twice. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. While she's plugging that in there, I think it's your turn.
All right. Let's see. Would you rather get 1 hour a day to work on whatever project you wanted, or unlimited time to crochet, but you can only work on one project at a time? So 1 hour, whatever you want, only 1 hour a day. Or unlimited time, but you have to do one project from start to finish at a time. No more than one whip. I can just tell you right now, I couldn't do it. I would have to take the 1 hour only a day.
No.
So 1 hour a day, whatever you want. Or unlimited time, but you only can work on one project at a time. Like if you did, let's say, like 10 hours in a day, if you started and finished a project, you can start and finish another project. But you can't start 2 projects. You can't work on 2, 3, 4, 6 or more like me.
Yeah, as I sit here on my desk, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 whips right now. Just sitting on my desk at the moment. So, yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to have to go with that whole hour a day thing. Although I should go for the unlimited and get some of these actually done. But I'm like you, I'll either get distracted or bored or just.
And like hypothetically, if you did the unlimited time, one project at a time, if you started it and were working on it and got bored and didn't want to do it and wanted to do something else, you could undo it completely. Undo it completely.
That sounds like frogging.
Yes, you'd have to. That's what I'm saying. Like, I couldn't handle it.
No, I'd have to do the 1 hour.
Yeah, that's me too.
Like, hopping between projects or whichever project I feel like working on at the moment. Definitely. Yeah, that was easy. Pretty much. Let's see. Models hypothetical. She just put that up. Unlimited time, 1 whip.
I can't.
BJ, unlimited time, hands down. Unlimited time as long as I get to pick the project.
Absolutely.
Unlimited time, and I will write down my ideas for the other projects to get it out of my system. So I'm the only one that would actually do the hour?
Well, and me too. Us too.
Unlimited. All right. No.
I can't either.
No, because as soon as I know that I am locked into one pattern, I don't want to work on it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't want to do that one. But you picked it. I don't care. I don't want to do it now.
I want to look at this one. I want to work with this color. Oh, I got this new idea I want to try right now.
Exactly. That's exactly how it will go down. Exactly. Okay, let's pop up to Maud's hypothetical. Lifetime free yarn from a big box store of your choice, or 5-year free yarn from an indie dyer of your choice. You can only order what you will reasonably use up in 5 years.
Why do you have to put that caveat on there? I mean, I would use a lot of yarn in 5 years reasonably, but also I would reasonably want more. I think I'd pick the indie dyer just for 5 years. 5 years is a long time. You can get a lot of stuff done in 5 years, and it's one indie dyer of your choice. I could pick just one.
Where are you going to find an indie dyer that's going to be able to do that much yarn now? You'd have to be their only client. I need 5 years worth of your very best yarn. Yeah, 5 years.
You're my personal dyer now.
Yeah. Yeah. You're commissioned. Yeah, you had other things you wanted to do? Tough. So you'd have to kind of spread that. I mean, if you could spread that around the different indie dyers, that'd be even better. But I still, even if I had to do just the one, it would, yeah. Yeah, because my luck, the big box store will suddenly only have Red Heart. And I don't hate to dump out Red Heart, because I mean, I think we all got our start on Red Heart.
Oh, that was my first yarn. For sure.
So I'm not dumping on it. It just doesn't. I don't like the texture of it. So.
And you're talking about the Super Saver, right? Because I worked with some of the other Red Hearts that are bad.
Saver.
It's the old school Super Saver.
Yeah, no, that's bad. No, there are some actual other red hearts like
With love is not
yeah,
bad.
with
I've used
love.
it.
Yeah, that one's nice. I can work with it. But Super Saver, Red Heart Super Saver, no. But in my luck, that's what I'd get stuck with.
That was a
So
good
that's
one
my
though.
that was a good one. Let's see. What's everybody else saying? I skip down here. Oh, she wasn't surprised by your answer because she knows you.
Oh, about the caveat.
Uh,
You couldn't order more than you would reasonably use.
mm-hmm.
I can't not do that now. I'm I'm working on it.
Let's see. Marquita said she went with the indie dyer. Maud said she'd go with the indie dyer. Hey, if an indie dyer would sponsor you, then it can be a thing. Oh, wouldn't that be that? Ho ho.
It would be nice. I just know it's hard because a lot of
Mm.
indie dyers are small business companies and they don't have a very big budget to be giving out free yarn.
Exactly. But that would
It would be, yeah, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't turn it down.
uh-uh. No. Red Heart Essentials is pretty nice.
I haven't tried it.
Neither, I don't think. I don't the name isn't familiar. Lifetime Unlimited because you can always pay for the indie dyer.
Yep.
Well, that's a point. Good point.
That is
Good
actually
point.
that is a really good point.
Yeah.
Because lifetime is lifetime. I think I'd still go with the indie dyer.
Yeah, probably. Probably. But that was a good point she's making there that
It's good.
an unlimited could be yeah. Okay. I'm still with indie dyer. Alrighty.
I think you're up.
Am I?
Yeah, I think
Oh yeah,
so.
that is me. Let's see. Okay, this I'm skipping that one because that's pretty much identical to what Ma just said. Um. Okay, if you are going to be stranded on this is getting away from the would you rather, but it's just a question I find interesting. If you're
Okay.
going to be stranded on a desert island, deserted island, you know what I'm trying to say.
A desert island full of
Yeah,
ice
desert
cream and
island. Yes.
cupcakes.
Yeah, Cupcake Mountain. Yeah, chocolate sauce lake.
Oh,
A deserted island for a year. Which yarn, which hook, and what entertainment would you choose?
okay. Which yarn? I don't know that I have like a go-to just one yarn. Like, are you meaning like specific brand, like base and brand?
Yes.
I don't have a personal staple. It would be probably a DK because it's very versatile. I could make a range of things. Whereas like, well, fingering weight is my second favorite and it's versatile too. That's a tough one. I'm not set on the yarn, but the hook. So it's the brand of hook? I'm assuming you kind of get to pick a set.
Yes.
I'd bring my Addy color coded set for sure, and my entertainment, not internet related.
Just internet.
There's internet.
Yeah.
I'd have to have
Internet is
YouTube.
electricity. Yeah.
I'd have to have YouTube. So YouTube would be my entertainment. My Addy color coded for my hooks. The yarn, you have me stumped because like it'd be a wool. It would have to be a wool fingering weight or DK weight.
A person there would take actual wool. Of course, never mind.
Superwash probably is safe. So, something like this one that my sweaters, this is Barocco Ultra Wool Worsted. So I would be happy with just taking this yarn in the colors to work on whatever over the years. I would be happy with this yarn for a hat, sweater, socks, like slipper socks. Yeah. I think if I had to choose on my feet, that's probably what I would grab. How about you?
My yarn would be, this shouldn't be a shock to anybody, Malabrigo. My hook would be probably not a shock to anybody as well. My Addy Swings, Maxis.
Mm-hmm.
And again, not a shock, YouTube.
Yeah. Surprise
Those
us
are-
YouTubers want to watch YouTube.
I know, right? Well, we'll watch YouTube. Then we're going to find out the news. We're going to know what's going on in the Yarny camps.
Mm-hmm.
We'll still be informed, but we're on a desert island. That doesn't sound like a bad idea. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it actually kind of sounds nice.
Yeah, I can take my Malabrigo, my hooks, my YouTube, and yeah,
Be left alone, please.
yeah. And if something goes wrong and I need to make something, I've got YouTube. Look it up. How do
Yeah,
I build
exactly.
this? How do I make this? How do I fix this? Yeah. That doesn't sound like a bad life. Where do I sign up? Okay, let's see. What's everybody saying? Let's see. Hobby Lobby has some. She's back on that other question. Catherine Cascade 220 wool, any ergo hook, and YouTube.
It's a staple.
Yep. We Crochet Swish is my most favorite. Clover and more hooks and YouTube.
Right. Is Swish the fingering weight? I think it is.
I think I don't know if it's finger or DK. Marquita, which is it? Let's see, mod. I assume a deserted island will be quite hot during the day, but quite cold during the night. Maybe a wool cotton blend. Hook set will be my Drop Circus Pro hooks.
I haven't tried those.
I've never heard of those. Do tell. But what's your entertainment? Oh wait, I wanted to say music, but YouTube has music, so an even better choice.
Yeah, you could use YouTube to listen to music, yeah.
So we're all choosing YouTube. Our yarn's different, our hooks are different, but we all went with YouTube.
Please, yes. We'll keep the YouTube.
Exactly. Well, we can all still chat like this, so it makes sense. Yeah. You always have that sense of community because you still got your YouTube fam. I'm really liking this idea.
Right, yeah. We need to plan a getaway.
Yeah, I think I just crafted my next vacation.
Yeah. Okay, so since you mentioned Malabrigo, I'll skip to my question.
Uh-oh.
And then we've had a lot of free yarn for lives. Free yarn for life from Malabrigo or Hobie.
Oh.
Now I feel like this one's a hard one because Hobie has such a large versatility.
Oh.
But I know you love your Malabrigo. I crafted this question for you.
Oh man.
It's hard because I feel like Malabrigo has some great bases that they offer that you cannot get through Hobie, but Hobie's got a wider variety, like all of it when it comes to bases, sizes, colors. It's a hard
So I can only choose one. I have to do one or the other.
You can only choose one for life. You could buy the other one. It's not like you couldn't have the other one. It's just not free. One is free for life.
Malabrigo. I can buy my Metallica and my Butterfly. Those are the big ones that I buy from there. Well, I Twister too.
But that's just it. If you would buy more from Hobie, you'd save more. But if you'd buy more from Malabrigo, you'd save. So which one do you think you'd end up buying more from, or getting for free more from?
I definitely spend more on Malabrigo than I do Hobie. Yeah. Yeah. Love Crafts is probably applauding me right now because I just ordered a bunch of Malabrigo. I just ordered from Hobie too, but
my favorite are those emails. Hey Mocha, we think you'd like this because you got this. You're like, oh, why are you showing me this?
Exactly. Really? You were not in my budget today.
Right.
You are now, but you were not in my budget today. Yeah, I have a credit card that's in my wallet going, what did you just do to me? But It's Malabrigo. I couldn't,
Yeah, I think I'd have to choose Malabrigo too, only because they have a great selection of the natural fibers, and that's my favorite. So that's what I
Yeah,
use most.
I have become a sucker for merino. I mean, I'm all about merino
It's really nice.
blends.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the superwash, the washted line.
See, I haven't tried the washed yet.
Oh,
I've done the Rios, Machida,
mhm.
Arroyo. I think just those three, but I love them all.
Yeah, the
Oh, and
washted.
the sock. The very first yarn that I bought from them was their sock for one
Yeah,
of my first knitted projects.
washted. It's worsted weight. It's gorgeous. It's squishy. It's soft. It's my dream. Yeah, I mean, and the
High
colors are
twist,
ridiculous. You know, and it crochets like a dream. I mean, I mean,
blocks like a dream. I love it.
it's like you're sitting there like, I mean, you're supposed to enjoy the experience of crocheting, and for the most part, I do it with all my yarns. But there's just something about crocheting with Malabrigo. I don't know what it is, but it's just I don't. I mean, if I get started with I don't want to put it down. I will literally that. Okay, that is probably the one yarn that I could probably pull off the unlimited, but only one project. If I was working with that yarn, I could possibly pull that off because literally when I pick it up and I start working with it, I do not want to stop working with it until I'm like out of it and then I have to go wind another ball, kick up another hank, whatever. So yeah, I'm a big fan. In case you didn't know, in case I haven't been clear, I'm a fan of Malabrigo yarn. You know, in case I haven't been clear about that. Let's see. Where am I? Okay, Maud's saying that they're like Clover or more the hooks you're talking about,
The
but
drops.
cheaper and more readily available here. Huh, cool. Swish comes in all DK and worsted, and I'm not sure if there is a fingering.
Okay. Nice.
I'm so mad at We Crochet, so nothing from them.
What happened?
I don't know what happened. Do tell. Malabrigo, I haven't experienced enough Hobie to find one I like. Butterfly.
Yeah, I do think you'd like Butterfly. That has been one of my favorites so far.
Oh, I love Butterfly.
I like their mohair
Love
silk
it.
that I was working with too, but no, that might not be for you. But I think you'll like the Butterfly.
Yeah,
But
Butterfly's
she
lovely.
struggles with acrylic though because it's so warm. But Butterfly's a thinner. Is it DK?
Yeah, it's a DK. And it's I don't know. It's not like a heavy acrylic. Like it's cool to on your skin. It's not like some acrylics that when as soon as you put it on your skin, you can feel it just sucking all the moisture out. You don't have that with Butterfly.
I'd say
It's just
watch for a
very,
sale. Watch for a
huh?
sale. Give it a try.
Yeah, definitely. I've never worked with Malabrigo and that neat variety, so I'd go with Hobie.
That's fair.
Malabrigo is lovely. You should try some Malabrigo.
It's really nice.
Let's see. Marquita Malabrigo is so soft and I adore the colorways. Yes.
They nail their colorways.
Oh, and yeah. The depth of the colors is just amazing.
It's like a painting.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And when you work it up, you're like, I would have never expected this was going to look like, but I'm not mad about it.
Yo.
Yeah. She's smiling. Marino is so wonderful. Yes, it is. I am a fan. Malabrigo because of cost. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I definitely spend more on Malabrigo than I do on my yarns from Hobie. Malabrigo is like the chocolate in my fiber life.
I like that.
I like that one too. I'm noting Butterfly now. Yeah, you gotta try Butterfly.
I was very impressed with it.
You're welcome. Yeah, I mean, to the point where Butterfly was one of those that I got it and I had to stop what I was doing to film a video about it because I loved it so much.
Yeah, I've only swatched with it, and I'm saving it.
I love it. Are you saving it for what I think you're saving it for?
Yes.
Cool. Because yeah, it works up fabulously for that. Just so you know. Okay. Your turn. My turn. My
Your
turn.
turn. That's the Hobie Malabrigo.
That's right. Okay, so you don't do a lot of these, but I'm gonna ask the question anyway. A cake yarn. Do you
Okay.
cut it or do you let it flow? So do you color control or do you let it just flow?
Most of the time that I work with them, I let it go. But there have been times where I have spun my own cake like yarn that comes in those long gradients like that. And like I knit a pair of socks and my hand spun's inconsistent. So some of the colors were longer. And so I did cut and control for that. Well, and you know what? Actually, the ice cream party cardi I'm working on is a striping yarn.
Mhm.
And I cut and color controlled to match the front panels. So I will cut and color control to do matching things like that. Yeah, I think that more often than let it flow.
Yeah, I'm the same way. It depends on what I'm making. And where the color changes. Like normally, if I'm making a shawl with a cake, um, I just let it go. And normally, I kind of look out because if there is a color change, it's on one of the far ends, so it's not like glaring like in the middle of it. Now, if it's changing in the middle, I will. One of the few times you'll see me frogging something, I'll frog back, cut, and then go with the next color.
Because it's
For
usually
the
like
most part,
half a row, right?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, like if I'm getting to the middle of the shawl and the color's changing, I'm like, no, no, I can't do that because that's just
You go
weird.
back.
I mean, unless it's like a gradient change, I could deal with that. But like a lot of cakes, you go from like a bright pink to green. And it's like, no,
Yeah, it's so that harsh line.
yeah, you can't have that. That drives me crazy. But yeah, also I'll cut that and continue with the new color. But for the most part, it's just the whatever comes out comes out. And like I said, normally I look out and I normally only get like color changes on each end or something. So
Yeah, I guess it's mostly going to happen on those wider projects like a shawl. And I haven't made a lot of shawls with those kind of cakes.
yeah, I made him. I've let's see, well, not unforgettable because that's variegated. Uh, um, Manarola from
Mm-hmm.
Hobie. You know,
You,
I've had it happen with it once, so I had to go back and go. No, I'm not going from hot pink to that green color in the middle of the shawl. So I've had to frog back the hot pink and then started the green. Um, but for the most part, I don't cut cakes. I mean, I don't see the point. I bought the cake in the color I bought it in because I like the sequence of the colors. But a lot of
yeah,
people will cut them out completely and rearrange them. I'm going, why? What?
I've never done that.
You know? I mean, I get to sometimes that's the only way you can get like certain colors that you really, really want. And in that case, then yeah, go ahead. Buy them, cut them up, and use them in the order. But for the most
But
part,
that
you know,
that creates more ends, my nemesis.
exactly. And if you're dealing with one of the cakes that they tie the colors together anyway, that's even more ends.
Yeah,
So
so I've been running into that with the twister. Some of the color changes are
mhm,
ties. And luckily with crochet, sometimes you can just crochet that into your stitch and you don't notice it. But I did
yeah,
was like, oh, if I was knitting, I'd have to cut this and rejoin this because that would drive me nuts. Because with the knitting fabric's so thin, the knot would stand out for sure.
yeah. And some are more careful with their knots than others. Some you make a knot, and I mean I've crocheted and realized I changed color and didn't even see the knot. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. And other ones, it's like there's a knot and then there's like these long strands. I'm like, okay, come on now.
Yeah,
You could
right.
have been a little more careful with this. Just saying. But I don't know. But yeah, I'm a more of a let it flow than a cutter. But I will cut if I have to. Let's see. Smart saying. I don't have a lot of experience with using color changing yarn. I've let it go up until now. I ordered yarn from. Oh, she's okay. This must be the problem with Ricochet. I ordered yarn from them November 26th and never heard from them until I emailed them on the 14th. And now my package says it's on its way, but they never emailed me back. That's annoying.
That's a bummer. Yeah.
It's like, come on, customer service.
Ho-
It matters.
Hopefully they can get it fixed, but I do know, like, with everything that's been going on, it's been happening a lot where
Yeah,
people are losing their employees, they're having a hard time staying staffed, so they start getting behind, and then there's supply chain issues, and so they're getting behind on getting things out because of supply chain. They're getting back ordered, and they don't have enough employees to handle it all. Hopefully that's the back end, but even then, it's still not a fun situation to be in. I would be extremely frustrated too.
yeah, and at least address it. I mean, make a mass message if you have to. Like, we're having staffing issues. We've got back orders. We've got supply chain issues. Bear with us. Just don't ignore it.
Yeah, and
You
I've
can't
seen
just
that too. Like when you go to Lion Brand's website, it's a big old banner like expect delays, we're behind.
yeah, yeah. Hobie too. My order with Hobie. When I made the order, you always get the email saying your order has we received your order, and somewhere in the midst of that, they were like, we're backlogged, and it may take a while. But then the next day, they told me it shipped. So
Maybe they forgot to go in and fix that it says they're behind. Maybe they're I'd rather have it
maybe
be that
because
way
I'm like,
though.
I was like, So if that's behind, wow, okay. But yeah, it's supposed to be here Saturday, but upon further investigation, they are passing my package off to USPS.
Hmm.
You can still be here Saturday, couldn't it? I get Saturday delivery. Actually, I get
I
Sunday
hope you get
delivery.
it.
I do too. Fingers crossed. Somewhere in Missouri, so who knows when I'll actually get it. I understand COVID and Black Friday issues, but seriously, they should have at least said something to you, not
It's the
completely ignoring
communication,
it.
for
Yeah,
sure.
even if it's just an auto-generated message.
Yeah,
I
we've
mean, I get
received your
you can't get
email.
back to everybody individually, but yeah, something. I don't like that. I don't like when that happens at all. I'm a big customer service person. I worked in customer service for years, so
Yeah.
I'm big on that. And I don't. And yeah, bad customer service is definitely a pet peeve of mine, big time. So,
Is it me?
yep.
If you could only make one for the rest of your life, so all of your projects are this project type, would it be all hats only for the rest of your life? Would you rather make all hats only or all scarves only? You
Uh,
only get to pick one of those.
I would probably pick scarves because I could just keep. I mean, is it going to automatically stop when I hit like scarf size? Okay, I just conceivably keep crocheting and turning it into a shawl.
uh, I will let scarf like shawls fit into this category.
Then yeah, I'll go with the scarves.
Yeah.
I mean, I like making hats, but I'm not that.
Yeah, I think for me it would be scarves too.
And more to play with. I mean, I can still play with different stitches and stitch combinations and widths and yeah, scarves.
Construction even because hats there's like I mean there's more than two ways to crochet a hat, maybe even three most common ways, but the other adventurous ways aren't as fun.
Let's see, top down, bottom up,
And you
and
could do
vertical
left or
when
right,
put
yeah.
together. Yeah,
And then everything else after that would be some weird modular awkwardly shaped interesting origami thing,
yeah.
which I've seen is pretty cool, but I don't know if it's for me.
I'm making a beret. I'm making a beanie. I'm making
I
no,
think I would
definitely
get
scarf.
tired.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, but I don't wear a whole lot of hats. I mean, I do, but you know, yeah, scarves easily, definitely. Let's see. What did the people saying? Where am I? Here we go. You can drape a scarf around your head, so scarves. Yep. You also make hooded scarves. Can you make a hooded scarf?
Ooh, yeah, I don't see why not. It's just kind of the general category of scarves.
Yeah, I'm on the hooded scarf kick right now. I have a
I'm
PO box. Oh, okay. I pay $1, so even if it gets there, I won't get it until Monday earliest. I paid for UPS because okay, I didn't realize you paid for you.
That's frustrating.
Yeah, because I don't want to go in the 10 miles to town. Are they going to refund you the money from? Because I'm sure there was probably a cost differential there.
Yeah.
Ugh, that's frustrating. Hats to donate to Hats Not Hate and homeless shelters. So you
That's a
would
good
do
one.
hats for the rest of your life and donate them all. Very giving of you. Catherine saying scarves for sure. That
Yeah. That's
that
a
was
good
my
question.
question. That was my same question. Are they going to refund you that? Because I'm sure it costs more. Okay. Let's see. Did I catch up everybody? I think I did. Yeah. Let's see. How many questions do you have left?
I've got one, two, just two, I think.
Okay. Yeah. See. Well, I would have two left, but Maud basically did one of them.
Did them.
Yeah. So this is actually my last question, and it's
Okay.
actually similar to one we've already done. Would you rather work one project from start to finish, or multiple projects at once?
Yeah.
You know the answer to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. Yeah, I would have to do more than one. I can't do start to finish. I've tried, and sometimes I love a project so much, and if it doesn't take that much time, I will do it start to finish without touching another project. But that is a very rare occasion in my house.
Yeah, I could do that with like say a hat and a bulky yarn, like the a hat that I made. I was commissioned. I knocked it out in like 2 hours because it was a literal bulky yarn and it was Lacey's pattern, and you know how quickly that goes anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but that's pretty much the only thing I've actually complete project start to finish that I've done.
Yeah, I think for me it's hats or like cowls. I can do a cowl really quick. As long as they're worsted weight or above, I could do either of those without touching another project. But because I like working with finer weight yarn, I would have to like spend so many hours on just one project. I can't. Can't.
Yeah, see that's the thing. You definitely you use yarn that requires you to spend lots of time working on a project.
Yeah, the twister top is going to take me forever. Like and
That's gonna be worth it. That's gorgeous though.
it is. And since it's like a cotton blend t-shirt, I won't even be able to really wear it for a couple more months. So I'm not even trying to hurry. I'm just like casually chipping away at it. But yeah, something like that, there's no way I would ever even make that if I could only do one at a time.
Yeah, no, I agree. I have that problem with some worsted weight projects, like the Afghan that my daughter's waiting for 2.5 years. That's worsted weight, and it's still sitting there like, hey, you want to work on me? No.
But part of that is that you're repeating the same thing for so long. Like that's part of the boring part is like,
Mm-hmm.
is there enough interest or is there a next point in the project where you're doing something different, like changing colors or changing stitch pattern or changing shape? Like this sweater, I probably could have made start to finish without touching other things because it's worsted weight. It was interesting at the top. And then by the time I got to the rest, it's all the same, but there is a little shaping in the sleeves. Like, and you can see your progress when you're making a sleeve. You're like, oh, wow, I've made that many inches, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the blankets, especially very basic ones,
Mm.
can't.
Okay, I lied. Fingerless gloves I can do in one sitting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially yours. Those are
Yeah.
so fast.
I know. Even I'm amazed at how quickly they work up.
Yeah.
It's like,
Talk
wow.
about speedy
Okay.
projects. Like that's
Mm,
I feel like that could be one of those 1 hour projects.
yeah, easily. Yeah, because I whip one up and like I whip up a set in about an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm just literally just sitting there and doing that and not getting distracted by 15 million things. But yeah, I can whip up a set in an hour.
Ends woven in and everything, I feel like. Yeah, easy.
Well, I crochet over myself. Let's see. Let's see, where am I going there? Find you. Where am I? Here we go. Okay, she's not getting money. That's ridiculous. I have nothing to do today, so I'm making homemade hash browns.
Yum.
Dinner at PJ's. I prefer more projects at once. Yeah, that's our camp. Depends on what. Crochet, I can do one, but knit more than one. Okay.
I think that's a speed thing.
I don't knit, so.
All my knitting projects take way longer, and it's not because I'm a slower knitter. I'm still a decently fast knitter. It just knitting is slower. Your row gauge is very small compared to crochet gauge, unless you're working like slip stitching or single crocheting.
Maybe I don't want to learn to knit.
You get really nice textures, and you get a thinner fabric with bulkier yarns, so it would still be worth it. But if you're going to be knitting with worsted weight, it's still going to be slower than crocheting with worsted weight.
I still like to learn to knit just to say I could do it, because I like to be versatile like that.
I can't blame you. I had to learn to knit for that reason. I just love the look of stockinette stitch, and I wanted a knitted sweater. That's really what drove me to learn to knit.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I like to knit stitch with Tunisian crochet. So I don't know. I've just never been able to pick up knitting. I mean, I've tried like several times. It just doesn't stick. I don't know why. I mean, I've tried umpteen other projects or umpteen other crafts and learned them, and no problem. But knitting, no, it's just totally going over my head. I don't get it.
I mean, it took me 3 years on and off. I kept trying and quitting and trying and quitting, and it took a couple people helping me for it to stick. Don't know what it is about. Once you know one craft, learning the other one is not always easy.
I have a feeling it would take a village for me to figure it out too. And I would be the village idiot because I can't figure this out. It's annoying because I don't like to not be able to figure things out, especially when it comes to crafts.
Mm-hmm.
I pride myself on pretty much being able to like learn how to do pretty much any craftsman that puts in front of me. So the fact that I can't knit, it just eats at me. It's like ha 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 ha. It's like that one thing that you can't, that one achievement that's down. You've got all the other flags, but that one flag is still out there somewhere and you can't find it. Catherine said crochet I can do one, but okay, so we're done already. Me too, Amanda. I just want to make a stockinette stitch sweater and some socks.
Knitted socks are wonderful.
Yarn goes farther with knitting, but is slower.
Absolutely.
Lacey!
Oh, hey, Lacey!
Hi, guys. I know I'm late, but happy to see you guys anyways. Well, we're glad you're here, too. You have to watch the replay, because this has been a hoot.
Oh, yeah. There's a good chat about Malabrigo, too. I'm turning Lacey on to Malabrigo.
Woo! Finally?
Yeah, well, because you mentioned it in your live, and she's like, I've never tried it. And I'm like, okay, Lacey, we're going to do this.
Girl, how are you going to be bougie and not... and not...
It happens.
Okay,
it happens.
Yeah. True. Same here, Mocha. It drives me crazy when I can't figure it out. Yeah. It's annoying.
For me, with knitting, it was the tension thing. Like, with crochet, you keep a pretty nice tension of your yarn around your hook. You don't have to worry about that as much when you knit because the loops open and close a little bit as you work with them, and that freaked me out. I was always like, this is not right. Like, it shouldn't be moving like that. What is this? And so I used to death grip like the yarn, and like I would get my stitches so tight I couldn't even get my needle in there.
Wow.
And so then I'd have to rip it out and start all over because I'm like knitting so tightly I can't even get in there. That was my biggest problem. So finally, when I let loose and was like, you know what, if it's going to be wonky and loose and open, that's fine. And it turned out wonderfully. And yeah. So you just got to find that whatever that barrier is for you, whether it's a movement or a tension, you'll
It's
get it. You will.
it's probably a tension issue because although I crochet tight now, it's nothing compared to how tight I used to crochet. Like my double crochets looked like single crochets. It was crazy how tight. Like
Wow.
yeah, and I really had to make a conscious effort to like no, you have to loosen up because you're not seeing your stitches and yeah.
You're making
So
rope.
yeah, yeah. I mean there you could not see any gaps in my crochet because they were tight. But yeah, so it's probably a tension thing. That's probably exactly what it is. Let's see. Knitted socks, you say? This is Lacey.
I'm working on Lacey's socks. They're somewhere.
Woohoo. Oh, Maud has more if we want. We can do a couple more.
Why not? Yeah, I've
Because I'm
got
out.
my baby's with the sitter, so I'm good.
Woohoo. It's the tension with me too, Amanda, and my knitting gets so tight.
Mm-hmm. That's where I was. Lots of tight knit. Like I would knit to the point I couldn't knit in it anymore, and then have to unravel it, and then start again. And it's very frustrating because just to knit one row would take me like a half hour, like a row of 10 stitches.
Yeah, okay, wow. Yeah, I had that problem. Like I said, I crocheted really tight and I couldn't figure out why I could never make gauge. I'm like, well, duh. You're literally cutting everything in half because you're
Yeah.
crocheting so tight. It's a Lacey saying, hi to Marquita. And dude, I don't know how I managed to never try Malabrigo, but I think because I have never been to a local yarn shop. I haven't either, and I still try Malabrigo. But better late than never. Let me know what you think of it. You're going to love it. I know you're going to love it. Join a knit crochet group and then you can watch the other knitters. I'm already in like 15 groups. It's not. I'm also, you have to consider I'm left-handed, so watching people, it has to be a left hand. That's the one thing. Crochet, I can watch a right-handed crocheter and pick it up, but I can't with knitting for whatever reason. It's really confusing to me. So it definitely has to be a left-handed knitter. And I've
so
actually looked at several left-handed knitters that still I'm just like, what?
so when you crochet, Mocha, do you hold your yarn in your right hand?
Yes, I had to think. Wait, let me think a
No,
little
I
bit.
had to think about it too. So I think, yeah, I mean, there's cool. Luckily, there's a way you can knit holding yarn in either hand pretty easily, but it is a little different and a little bit harder in my crochet brain to do. But since you're left-handed and you're used to holding your yarn in your right hand, you might be able to pick it up that way. But yeah, I had to learn with people in person before it clicked. YouTube was not helpful for me.
Yeah, it hasn't helped. But yeah, I do hold my yarn in my right hand
Your right hand.
and crochet with my left, which is what which I never really realized it was an issue until I ran into an issue with your pattern because how you were doing it because you're right-handed. I had to mirror it. I had to flip it.
Oh, I should probably upload flipped videos for left-handers. Is that usually good enough? I've never really thought about that.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm new to it being an issue, and I also realized it was an issue when I was doing a graph scan, and I have to work a graph scan from the bottom up. I can't work it from the top down.
Because you have to work it the opposite direction.
Right. Otherwise, it's going to be I'm looking at the back of it. It's going to be backwards. So my right side is going to be where the wrong side actually is. You know what I mean?
My
So
goodness.
yeah, and like I said, I never really realized that until I went to do a graph scan one day and went, "This is backwards." So yeah, I literally have to work one from the bottom right going left and up instead of being able to work it left to right coming down.
That's crazy. And
Yeah,
that
it's
just
a little
made me
weird.
realize that's why you do your tutorials the direction that you do.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was wondering that. I was like, that's such an interesting angle. And then now it makes sense. Because you're
Yeah.
left-handed, but you don't look left-handed because you're coming from the top down.
Yeah, but I have to come from the top down because that's the only way I can see what I'm doing,
That too?
and you still see what I'm doing. Yeah, it's crazy. Being a lefty in a righty world in crochet land is an adventure.
I never even thought about that.
Like I said, I really hadn't given it much thought either until like I said, did the GraphGAN, and I realized I had to reverse something on your pattern, and I started doing tutorials, and I'm going, wait, they can't see me with my hook at this angle because I'm coming from the opposite direction. So yeah, that's why my angles are what they are, because that's the only way I can angle it, still see what I'm doing, and you can see what I'm doing. It's yeah.
It works though.
I'm glad. Cool. I mean, I haven't had any complaints so far, so I'm assuming it was working. But yeah, being a southpaw can be interesting. Let's see what's other people say. Let's see. I'm a looser knitter when I try the English style.
Same.
English style. Is there
That's
English and
that's the
American
throwing
movements?
style, right? There's a way where you hold your yarn like you do when you crochet, but you wouldn't be able to do it because you do it in your left hand. Um, and it's I refer to it as picking and throwing, and I always forget which is English and continental. But I think English is the throwing style where you are. Some people can hold on to it and they can flick it, but some people let go, wrap the yarn around, and then keep knitting. And when I do that style, it's looser. I only do that when I'm knitting Fair Isle color work because you can carry two colors at once, one in each hand.
Fair Isle, you could do what knitting and crochet, right? Why do I feel
Yes.
like I've heard Fair Isle crochet?
I've seen people do Fair Isle crochet, but I think like the traditional Fair Isle is knit. And I think it's adapted to crochet to mean the Fair Isle knit look. But I think
That
it's
makes
like a
sense.
traditional cultural thing that's specific to colorwork knitting. I don't think it's a crochet thing, but it's kind of been like modernly adapted to crochet. Like, oh, it's
Gotcha.
like Fair Isle knitting, so we'll just call it Fair Isle crochet.
Hmm.
But I could be wrong. That's at least my current understanding.
That sounds like a completely, totally logical answer to me because it's definitely a specific look that you're going for with it. That's for sure. And yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
can see how they.
I was gonna say, I think to be considered traditional Fair Isle, your floats are never more than like 3 stitches too. So some of those Fair Isle designs that are longer stitch widths, I don't think they technically qualify as Fair Isle, but that's getting into that whole like policing of things.
Yeah, yeah. That it's bad enough that we're policing, like, whether which is better, knit or crochet, or who's better, or who deserves more fashion time. That's just crazy to me too. I mean, we're all fiber artists. Why can't we get along?
Right.
You know, I mean, we're all out here making knots with yarn. I mean, that's what we're doing. Some
It's
of us do
true.
it with one hook, some of us do it with two sticks, but we're making knots with yarn.
We're making naughty yarn.
I mean, that's the whole point. Why argue about it? See, Lacey's like, oh my god, when I first tried crochet, I pulled the yarn tight after every single crochet. I didn't know it was supposed to be loose. Yeah, that was me. I pulled it tight
Stitch,
every
yank.
yank.
Stitch, yank.
Yep, yep. That's how I did it. I thought that's how you're supposed to do it. Ironically, I got out of the habit, and then when I started getting amigurumi
Oh, that's so
and
funny.
and mosaic crochet, where you have to do that with the stitches. It's like figures. I finally break the habit. Now I gotta get back to doing it. But yeah, I definitely. It took a while. And it took some patience for me to remind myself. No, do not pull. No, do not pull. Just let it go. Do the stitch. Go to the next one. Do the stitch. Good. So, but yeah, I'm much looser now, but it's still tight in comparison to all other people's. Let's see. Catherine is saying, when I was trying to learn to knit, my husband said, "Why would you want to do something that makes you cut so much?" I cuss when I crochet though. He's like, I'll make a mistake. Son of a.
I mean, in the beginning, definitely.
Yeah.
Even still now sometimes.
Uh-huh.
Especially when I make a mistake. Like for me at this point, because I've been designing a lot lately, it's when I make a design mistake and I know I have to undo it all and it was a dumb mistake. And I'm like when I had to rip back on my orange cardigan, I was just like, really? Really?
Uh-huh. Yeah. I did that with I'm trying to come up with an interesting combination of the granny and the gingham. And I'm working on a pattern. I think I figured out, but one of my I'd say my second attempt, I looked at what I was making and I was like, now what made you think that was going to work? You knew that wasn't going to work. Why did you do it? Now you gotta rip all that out because it looks stupid. Good job. So yeah, when I create my own problems, I definitely curse. Definitely. Yeah, it's like, I knew better than to do that. Why did I do it? But that's
half the time it's because I'm crocheting too late at night. The kids go to bed and I'm like, oh, yes, I've got time, free time. But my brain starts tuning out after 5 p.m. So by like 8 o'clock, like I shouldn't really be crocheting. I shouldn't be doing any math.
You can get up the next day, look at it, and go, what was I thinking?
I've done that.
Yeah, I have too. It's like, oh, no. No. That math is all wrong. This looks wonky as F. I knew better. Mm-hmm. So yeah. But it's all part of the process.
It is.
Mod saying you can only ever use your favorite hook size or you can never use your favorite hook size again. Wait, what?
Ooh. So you could like for me it would probably be 4 millimeter hook. So I could only work with a 4 millimeter or never work with it again. I could use every other size, but not the 4. Oh. Or only do the 4.
Oh.
Which I think is a G.
Yeah. The 4 is a G because and an I is a 5.5.
I would do this. Yeah. Well, so if I couldn't use a 4, could I use a 3.75? Could I use a 4.25? Because I feel like if you can use the ones in between, which are still technically sizes, I feel like I could pull off never using my favorite size.
I don't think I could give up my 5.5s.
That's your favorite? I love
my eye hook.
Well, especially as you get to the bigger sizes, the gap between sizes is even bigger. Mm-hmm. So you'd have to go to 5 or up to 6. You couldn't go for a 5.25 or I don't think so. Have you seen 5.5s or 5.75s?
No, I don't think I've ever seen one.
So I think I could give up my favorite, but yeah, I think you would be stuck.
I mean, I could probably use a 6 and just tighten up a bit. Because I wouldn't even try to like use a 4.5. That's just not going to work with me. But yeah, I could probably use a 6 and tighten up. But yeah, when you get up to those sizes, there's a definite gap, even at a half size.
Yeah,
it's significant. Oh man. I'm not giving them my eye hook because that's what gives them my worsted weight yarn.
Yeah.
Plus, I'd have to go out and buy all kinds of hooks, new hooks. You know how many 5.5 hooks I have? Do you have any?
Well, that's how I knew mine was 4 because that's what I have the most of is 4 millimeter hooks, and I can also never find them.
Hey, look at this.
How many is that already?
this isn't even. Oh, here it is. I was going to say that's not even counting the one I'm using at the moment. Yeah. These are my 5.5s right here that I use.
That you use, yeah.
Yeah, that I use. I mean, notice there's no Odyssey here. There's no furls here. I have the furls. They're over there, but I don't use them. So yeah, these are the 5.5s that I use.
Yeah.
So I would have to literally go out and buy new hooks. So yeah, I'm not giving up my 5.5. So I guess it's the only hook I'm ever going to use ever again. I'm okay.
I'll give up my 4 because there's in between sizes. I can make it work.
I'm okay with it because, like I said, I use mainly worsted weight anyway. So
see, so with my 4mm, I've used fingering weight for a nice squishy shawl. I've used it for a nice DK or a tight worsted. So I feel like it's got versatility, but being able to skip with the half sizes, it's like cheating.
You're saying a 4 or 4.5?
4.
4. Okay, see, I use a 4.5 with my DK with my 3s mainly. Yeah. But again, I crochet tight, so that's why I have to go up.
And I'm loose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Or kind of loose.
Yeah. So that's probably my second favorite hook size. Probably is a 4.5. I like 4.5. Yeah. Even though you look at some hooks, you just like how they look.
Yeah.
The hook head. 4.5 and 5.5. They just look like I am a crochet. I'm here to crochet. I'm here to get some work done. You know, I'm a workhorse. Let's go. I'm weird. I know.
No. That's how I feel about 5s and 6s. They're more attractive to me, attractive looking, but I don't work with them as often.
Yeah, I mean, nothing like a good 4.5 or a 5.5. I'm like, yeah, I like you. Let's give you something. So, anybody else have a favorite hook that they look at that way too?
I think so.
So we're not going to be the only weird ones. That was a good question, Amon. That
was a great question.
Let's see. Marquita's saying that's me. I unraveled 7 times in an hour last week because I was so tired. Yep.
Yeah, that's mom life.
Grandma life, but
or grandma life too.
I am positive I will love it. Yes, you will. You will love Malabrigo. Mod saying my first ever scarf was made at 15 different colors of my grandma's scrapyard with 2 tight rows, 2 loose rows, and lots of drop stitches. Franken scarf. We all have a Franken scarf.
I think so. I think that's super common.
Yeah,
I don't have one to show. I ripped it all out until I was knitting at an even tension. But yeah, even then, my first knit hat was like I couldn't get gauge, and so it was just massive. It doesn't fit. I ended up frogging it.
I may actually have my first crocheted scarf around here somewhere. I'm gonna have to look for it because I might have it in a bin upstairs. But yeah, it was bad. It was
It's that tension.
Mm-hmm. The tension. Some of the rows were too tight. Some of them were too loose. And forget about an even edge. Just forget it.
It's just let me add some more.
Yeah.
But only on one side for a little bit.
That was bad. Yeah, that was probably the skill that took me the longest to learn where the last stitch was to turn.
Yep.
Yeah. Even I still struggle with that even now. Even now, sometimes if I'm like feeling like a little just I don't know nervous about something, I will just put a stitch marker in my last stitch just so I remember that's my last stitch. That's where I need to turn. Yeah. Even now.
Especially with dark yarn. Dark yarn gets me.
Yeah. Dark yarn is, I think, everybody's nemesis. I don't see how people make it. I have a friend that does almost everything in dark yarn. And I'm like, how do you do that?
I heard the secret is lights.
Yeah.
Extra lights.
But even then, light up hooks, probably. But yeah, I just, yeah. But yeah, even till this day, I still will sometimes. I'll put a stitch marker in so that I know where my last stitch was. Although it has gotten easier now that instead of doing 2 chains and turning, I only do 1.
I agree.
Yeah, once I started doing that, because there's not that long stitch that I'm like confusing for my actual row. So that's helped. But still, even with that, I'm like, oh, let me mark this just in case because
That
I'm getting
chain one
tired.
turn tends to be tight for me, so I won't usually think it's a stitch. Sometimes if I do it loosely, I'll be like,
Mm-hmm.
was that
Yeah,
it?
yeah. But if you make it a little tighter, yeah, it
Yeah.
just kind of smashes itself in, and
Yeah,
you're like,
and you can see the top hanging. Yeah.
mm. So when I watched Tony do that TL yarn crafts, I was like, why haven't I been doing this?
Yeah, yeah. Why is it? Why wasn't this top before? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Why is this a new thing? Wow, yeah. Yeah, it was a game changer for me.
Same.
Definitely.
Same.
My edges have never been straighter. PJ saying my daughter is a southpaw. She refuses to crochet but can knit up a storm.
That's wonderful.
Cool. I still can't. One day I'll figure it out. I'm sure. One day, someday. Where did I? Where am I? I just
No, it's so
lost.
easy to get lost in chat.
You guys got chatty on me. Oh wow, we had to go way up.
I think we got chatty on them.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to blame you guys for our conversation. My bad. Let's see. PJ saying, "Afraid not. People will never agree." I've enjoyed you. I'll have to go now. Bye, Marquita.
Oh,
Thanks for being
bye,
here.
Marquita.
Sorry I missed you leaving, so you probably left already. I really did stitch, yank. I did that too when I first started. Don't worry, Catherine. I can relate. It used to make me smoke cigarettes. Oh, great. Oh my god, yes, I've tried. Tired brain only lets me work easy stuff during the week. Yeah, I can't.
Mm-hmm.
I will never start a project in the middle of the week. That's definitely like a Friday night wind down. Brain is still firing, and I'm not quite tired yet. I get some of my best
Yeah.
ideas on Friday nights. YouTube
I've
never.
never paid attention to that. That's real interesting. I've never thought about there being a correlation between when the best ideas come. For me, it's randomly in the shower, I feel like, though.
I
Like,
get those too,
seriously.
or when I'm driving,
Oh, yeah.
I'll get genius ideas. I'm like Siri, open Notepad. You know. No, watch Siri just open my Notepad. Okay, she's ignoring me right now. Wow, what do you know? Um, she's talking
Four,
about that four is a
four is a
G.
G. G plus.
Let's see.
5 millimeter difference. I can't
difference.
cheat. I feel like I'd still let it go. I feel like I could use a 3.5 or a 4.5 and skip the 4.
Let's see, she's saying Maud saying she'd go with the variety herself.
Variety. Loser. What would be your favorite size hook then, Maud, that you'd have to give up?
Yeah, what would you give up? I can't give up my J hook. She's a 6. She's a 6.
So she's a 6er.
She loves her 6s. I mostly use my Odyssey 3.5. I can only use Odyssey because it doesn't bother my sensitivity stuff.
I could see that. 3.5 is one of my favorites for fingering weight.
I don't use fingering weight, so I'll take your word for it.
That's like all of Lacey's stash, I believe.
I think so
With
too.
some DK.
Yeah, because she told me not too long ago. Listen, I was talking to you, Lacey, like you're not here. That she had no worsted, and I was like, "You have no worsted weight yarn at all?" She's like, "No, maybe in an old stash somewhere." But no. I'm like, "Ye gods!" That's pretty much all
My
I have.
worsted is a low stash, but I do have worsted.
I mean, I've got most of mine's worsted. I've got a decent amount of DK because a lot of my merino is 3 DK. But otherwise, I'm a 4 and above. That's my girl. That's my stuff.
So that's where we meet. I'm 4 and below.
Yep. Calvin says she uses a G through K for a variety of things she crochets. Makes sense. I think that's pretty much where we all probably land.
That's like you range.
Yeah, like between a 4 and I guess that's an 8. No, wait, 7. 7 or
4
8.
to
Well, it
Okay,
depends
10
on.
and a half is what I had on my K hook, but it
Yeah,
depends on the brand because I just recorded one with the 10 and a half.
yeah, because
K.
I've got I've got a couple of the unicorns. I actually have a 6.5 and a 7. Which are hard to find, and
They
I didn't realize
are.
how hard they were to find until someone like, "You have a 7?" I'm like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Wow." Like, okay, and the 6.5 is really odd too, apparently. But I do have a
Mm,
6.5 and a 7.
well, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know if my K 10 and a half is normal because it might not be.
I don't have mine's not out. I don't think. I think I put it away. But yeah, K might be a 10 or a 9 or a 10 probably. It's a bulkier one. It's a big girl. Let's see. For probably one full year, the only hook I used was my J hook. I call it my old reliable, and that is because it was my only Odyssey hook for a long time.
Oh, I was thinking 10. It's not 10, it's 6. I think it's 6.5. Because J is 6. I think K is 6.5. I don't know why I said 10.
Yeah, that'll be an L.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
That's why I went along with you.
Yeah. It was just a slip of my brain.
So, if we actually had like universal, we wouldn't have to worry about it.
Well, that's why I try to stick with the millimeters because it's a legit measurement that you can't fudge up like you can the numbers.
Yep.
The random letters.
Exactly, because one letter could be. It just depends.
Yeah.
Thanks. My fave is probably a 4mm at the moment. I love 3.5 to 7mm general. Yeah, that's pretty much I think where we all kind of land. 5 is probably my favorite, according to Catherine. No shame in using stitch markers. Thank you, because I'll use them in a heartbeat. That's why I got a million of them. I'm collecting them again. Oh no, I'm always down to start something new. We know. This is why we've got that challenge we need to work out.
Yes, we do.
Why do they call left-handed people southpaws? Is this the beginning of a joke, or are you asking me for real? I used to know the answer to that, and now I'm drawing a blank. I forget.
I honestly don't know.
I used to know, but I don't. I can't think of why now. I get hit with an idea when I see pretty yarn. Yeah, that'll do it for me. I'll see yarn and go, oh, that has to be this or that. I have a sprinkle of DK. Mine says K 10.5 and a 6.5mm.
Oh, that's why I was thinking 10 and a half. So on crochet hooks, they will also put the knitting needle US number.
Mm-hmm.
So a K is a knitting US 10 and a half, 6.5mm. They don't always put those numbers, I don't think, on the hooks with the letters, but that's what it is. Not 10.5mm, 10.5 US size.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
It's confusing, is what it is.
It's very confusing. It doesn't need to be. I think we need to have a community that makes a universal size hook size, and like the metric sizing would be fine. And we need a community to make all sitter pulls uniform.
Well, and it would be nice if the stitches were the same too. The English versus UK stitches.
Oh yeah,
I always feel
like
so bad.
Is a double, and a double is a triple, and
yeah. We need to come to agreement.
yeah, that would help too. But I guess they count the number of loops on a hook, whereas we count the number of
pull throughs. It's what I count, which makes sense for me because singles just 1, doubles 2, triples 3.
Right.
Triple, treble.
But they count the number of times you wrap.
But how many loops? Yeah.
Yeah.
How many loops are on the hook when you pull through? That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, they both make sense, but we just need to pick one to stick with it. Let's see. So what do the two numbers mean?
I think we covered that, right?
For the hooks? We answered that. We just answered that. Hey, yes, let's get the plan for our challenge set up. Y'all want to make it a New Year's party reveal.
That would be cool.
A New Year party?
Well, I will say, Mocha, I've got about 10 minutes until I've got to go pick up my little one. So,
All right. Well, yeah. Let's get this wrapped up then. So you're the only with questions left.
yeah,
All my
let's throw them
questions are
out there.
done.
They're kind of similar to the ones we've had, but I can throw them out there. Would you rather be forced to use your least favorite hook for a project oh no, actually it says forever. Just kidding. Forever. So your least favorite set of hooks, your least favorite hook sets, or your least favorite yarn forever. So you'd have to, it's almost as bad as the one you had at the beginning where your hook either squeaks or it snags. So yeah, would you rather have to use your least favorite hook set for the rest of your life or your least favorite yarn for the rest of your life? So, I mean, you don't have to name the names, but I know you have some least favorite hook sets.
Yeah.
And I already know how you said that you feel about Super Saver.
Yeah, I think I would just have to suffer through my least favorite hooks.
You think you could make it?
I'd try. Maybe that would be my final push to take up knitting.
You're like, I'm out.
All right, this was fun, but you know, macrame. Here I come.
Here we go. I'm trying to think if I've had. I think I'd have to go with my least favorite hooks too, because I think my least favorite yarns I've ever worked with have just been so horrible that I would never even want the finished item, let alone the struggle of working with them. At least if you were working with a hook that you hated, you could still make something nice. It's just not fun to make it, maybe.
Right.
But you could still get an end project that you like with a nice yarn and a nice color or whatever. So yeah, I think I'd have to go with the bad hooks too.
Yeah. Yeah, I can work around a hook. I can work around yarn. I can't stand the touch. That's just like that's not going to be a thing.
Well, and you couldn't wear it if you couldn't stand to touch it either.
Exactly. So, like I said, it'd be a moot point of making anything anyway. Everybody's. Lacey's like, oh, I can't even. Catherine's saying least favorite hook. Maud's saying least favorite hook. So, you got one more question?
Yes, we'll throw one more out there, which is kind of similar but a little different. So, would you rather be stuck spending at least 3 hours detangling yarn that got all messed up? Or would you just go ahead and buy a whole new one, but it costs twice as much?
How long am I detangling it?
At least 3 hours. And I mean, if you look at it, if the yarn wasn't expensive, it wouldn't be hard to pay double the price. But if it was a really expensive yarn, like you're really paying a lot. Would you spend the time? Would you spend the 3 hours to detangle it, or would you just pay double?
If it was an expensive hank of yarn, I'm untangling that. No. I mean,
guaranteed at the end of the 3 hours, it's tangle free and you're good to go again. But I mean, you have to lose all that time to do it. But you save the money.
I would use the 3 hours.
You do 3 hours.
I mean, I would. Okay, if I was in a time crunch, I might set that aside and pay double for a new one and then detangle the other one later. But no, my mind's telling me unless I'm like under a serious time crunch, I'm detangling it. I'm spending the 3 hours watching bad TV or YouTube videos and just detangling it and swearing that I'll never get myself in that position again.
I think that's what I would do too. And I have spent quite a few time, like a good chunk of time detangling yarn, except for that first one I told you about that I lost. That one was not savable. Sometimes when you detangle yarn, if the knots just get too tight, when it gets tangled, you're done. There's no saving it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened with that one. And I didn't buy another one because I told you it was that self-striping, super expensive. I didn't go back. I didn't buy another one. I just chalked up the loss. So if I didn't even buy it again at regular price, I definitely wouldn't buy it at double the price.
Exactly. So you just tossed it?
I had to. It was not workable. I kept what I could salvage was like a mini skein's worth, and I still have it in like my mini skein stash. But yeah, I was super disappointed.
Yeah, I did that with my very first hank of yarn. I didn't realize that you really needed to use a Swift or some other way to untangle before you tried to use it, and just totally, yeah,
No.
yeah. So I've destroyed basically 2 hanks of yarn because I was just didn't know what I was doing. So, but yeah,
There needs to be a
let's see
warning
everybody's.
label. Like just inside the label, like how to open and work with.
Yeah, there should be. There should be like some instructions saying you need a Swift or a chair with 4 legs or a tall back chair in order to work with this. And this is how
Cannot
you do
knit
it.
straight from it or crochet straight from it.
You cannot. You no, don't. But yeah, or a friend's 2 hands so you can just drape it over them. But either way, yeah, because I didn't know when I got my first hanks that you had to do that. I just never occurred to me. Okay, let's see. Oh, hi, Butterfly Dreams. Welcome.
Hi.
Let's see. Butterfly saying I would have to say least favorite hook. Red Heart Super Saver. For me, no, none of us are really fans of it. I don't think.
Oh, the double priced.
She of
The
course
knot
she would.
tangle.
Saying hello. Everybody saying hello to each other. She would detangle. Butterfly would detangle it. Lori
Hi,
would
Lori.
detangle it. Hi, Lori. Detangle it.
Tangle.
Catherine. I'm telling you why I don't even pay $5 caking fees. I was going to say, okay, all right.
But if you paid the $5 caking fee, you wouldn't even have this problem, probably.
Exactly. Saying hello. I spent 3 days detangling Trubu.
I could see that. That yarn is slick.
Okay, Trubu doesn't cost enough for me to spend 3 days detangling it. I would toss it. Buy another one. Yeah, that one. No. We're talking about Abrigo. I'm untangling that, but Trubu, I love Trubu, but yeah, not that much. Not 3 days worth of detangling.
It's one of those things, though. You have to be conscious too, especially if you bought something that you can't get more of. Trubu is one where it's probably not out of stock and you can get more for your project. But if you had bought something for a big project and you couldn't get another dye lot, I would spend 3 days detangling that for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Well, this was fun.
It was fun.
I had a blast. We've been at this for 2.5 hours. Good grief.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Who knew that just roughly 20 questions would take this long?
I know, right? But this was fun. I loved your questions. Loved everybody's answers. This was fun. Thank you for being here, Amanda.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Mocha. This was a great idea that you came up with.
I was proud of myself with this one. I thought this was cool.
Yeah.
Those of you that are still here, thanks for being here. I'll have some more. Oh, if you could hit the like button, that'd be great, so that the YouTube algorithm will smile greatly upon me.
Yes, please.
I wanted to see me. So, yes, can you hit the like button? I mean, if you didn't like it, you can hit the dislike button. That's okay. It's a view.
And a comment too would be great when it's on the replay.
Comments would be awesome. And if you go back and watch the replay, and like those of you that came in a little later, go watch the replay so you can see the other questions, and feel free to answer them in the comments.
Yeah, they were great questions.
Yeah, we had some fun questions. But we're going to call it a chat. Thanks for being here. I'm normally here on Wednesdays at 7 Eastern. And I have a couple of videos coming out this week, so look out for those. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel and you like me and you really want to, go ahead and subscribe, please. I'm fun, I swear. And and hit the bell icon so that you'll know when I upload, because I upload pretty frequently. But yeah, hit that bell icon and you'll know if I pop up an extra video here and there, which happens, especially in December. But anyway, Thanks for being here, and I will see you guys in the yarning halls and in my next video and in my next chat next week. So, thanks for being here and see ya. Bye.